Welcome back to the night shift. I'm in charge, which means we're all getting fired. We got Jason Kaplan and Jake, who keeps us funded. And Jake, we can't do that without the community, because without the community, we can't bring in sponsors. And without the sponsors, we don't get to set record-setting prize pools like we have on fire tonight, thanks to our friends at Shopify. And of course,
Intel and Newegg, our newest members to the sponsorship group. So huge.
Because we broke the Fiki egg, guys. We're
cracking it open. We're popping it into the prize pool in another level.
You would slurp one, Kaplan. Don't give me that.
I didn't know there was 2,500 bucks.
You would pull out a straw and you would just all 24.
I'd be cracking it like 2,500 bucks in it. Come on now. Let's be real. Cracking that in minute 3.
These players have extra reason to play tonight, and of course, you guys have the best reason to watch Deadlock. It's to get better and learn from the best on the planet. They will truly be incentivized with a record-setting prize pool. Let's jump in with our teams and meet our players. You just witnessed some glorious domination in the Challengers matchup. Some familiar figures and new roles. Kaplan, what did we like about Lowkey W, our Week 37 Challenger?
Is it weird to say everything?
Yeah, it's pretty cop-outy. Yeah, you gotta give me 2 things that you learned.
Okay, Cosmetical still has a good pocket. I want to see more pocket.
Yep. Like that.
Hoot has a good doorman. Let's see some more doormen.
Hoot has best doorman, question mark, chat?
Oh, I mean,
such a good hero for him as a player. I feel like it really suits his style.
Jake, what is the scariest part of Lowkey W?
I will say, I think the scariest thing is that they feel very new, right? Even though this been a couple weeks with this roster, it feels like maybe this patch was exactly what this team needed, as hey, shake up the meta a little bit, kind of inject a little chaos, let this team have a sort of an equal footing instead of it being like they're coming into a patch that other teams have been grinding, kind of reset a little bit on that advantage. And it feels like this is the Lowkey W that we were promised with bringing Zergy in. I will say this is going to be the toughest opponent yet, right? It's one thing to be able to deliver a strong win against Leviathan. Abrahams has consistently been a team that will contest these kind of early game fighting drafts. That's been Abraham's calling card since week 1 on the night shift. They will just keep fighting you. They will not back down. Even if they're down in the souls a little bit, they will keep looking for those engagements, and they have the individual play to back it up. Empty Dream's going to get his shot against a former team where that's a huge pickup, right? To be able to grab onto your roster. You realistically, they bring Zergy onto this team more for synergy reasons. This is not somebody, Empty Dream is not a player you drop from the team because there's a skill issue here, right? He is one of the most consistent, strongest players in EU. And so to find a home on Abrahams is, I think, a really happy thing for both the team and for him as an individual. This is going to be an exciting one. Lowkey W, resurgent, looking better than ever. Abrahams out, they've been a brick wall. They've been kind of rebuilding that dominance over these last few weeks. Will the patch be able to change that, right? You look at this roster, and they're pretty stacked, right? Historically, they've also had a ton of success, right? I guess Arzo, relative newcomer to this team, but the other 5 have been many, many weeks deep of first place runs. They are no stranger to championship pressure. I think this extra prize money, I don't think it's going to phase them.
Jake, your fan club has arrived. Swiss Boutio with his Overwatch League logo just chimed in with his very first time chat. W. That was on behalf of 10 gifted that we just were given anonymously, which brings us within 81 subs of our 1,000 sub goal. I think we're going to get there tonight. The community has been pouring it on, but let's talk about why we're excited for the Abrahams. They've worn the title 16 times. 32 times. I'm not quite sure. We're going to get the official count here in a moment. But Saint has been one of the highest MVP players of all times. If you're looking at our leaderboards in the past, what makes this guy great? I know he has the biggest hands when it comes to the Mo 1v1s.
Well, I think before I say that and talk about Saint, I have to quickly point out something that Wholesome Joe has tipped $100, I believe now. I did 30 into the YouTube chat, 70 over here on Twitch. And the comment is, can my donations go specifically to second place? I want to make sure Abrahams gets something when they lose.
I think that's fair. CFO,
I feel like we can arrange that. We could customize that.
Send the memo. Send the memo. It's in the mail. Thank you to who? Who was it again, Kaplan?
Wholesome Joe.
Wholesome Joe.
That's a wholesome move right there. I want second place.
I'd love to be able to have like
$100.
second place is like we buy you dinner, you know, like that's like the vibe. It's like, you know what, we little something, little, you know.
We'll get a Chipotle sponsorship, and then you know we can do something. I'm down.
Yeah,
for that.
you
win one
get the
burrito.
free chips and salsa. All right, congratulations.
Coupons in the mail. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Wraith659 says Sonya Sniper's Lash was freaking insane last week. Kaplan, I know you are a Lash lover, not just in looks and who you want to cosplay as and who you'd like to be in the future, or who would you like to go on a car ride with for a very long time through the mountains alone. But what makes this character fun to watch for you, and what makes him actually useful on a team?
And like the impact Lash can have, I think the impact he can have with his ultimate is insane. The bowling power. See, there's the tip coming on through. You can see on the screen. The bowling power he has as well. But I also really enjoy the fact he acts as like a human ward in these games. And you don't really see a lot of heroes kind of fill that role. It gives you so much information. And it's about how you use that information and the ability to express your the skill expression for your movement. I think is like him and Pocket and Celeste are like three of the best heroes to really emphasize that. It always is explosive. The only downside is if the other team gets counter spells, you're kind of screwed. But you asked me a question. I want to go back to it really quickly here, Puck. You asked about Saint, right?
Yes,
Seeing
sorry.
Saint flex out to like Abrams, I thought was really interesting. It shows maybe a change in the mindset of the team as well. We don't really run those hard supports anymore. He's got big fists, big hands. He can win a 1v1 any day with Mo and Krill.
Right.
But can they win again is gonna be a whole nother question. But I think there's that slow mental change across all teams. We don't really need to run like a hardcore support anymore. Where's Paige been? Where's Rem been? I know we did have, I think Rem played last week on Leviathan side, but we're not seeing like those healer supports anymore. Even Kelvin is going not necessarily towards healing. He's going more towards a little bit of damage and bullying power in the early game.
Jake, is it a Bible he's holding? Is it a Bible thump? Is that the move?
Who?
I don't play Abrams.
Oh. I mean, I think it's a cursed tome. I think the book is like
Think
cursed.
about renaming it when
he's
you
like
go
a
live.
demon. He's a
Think
demon
about
detective. Lowkey W, first banning the Kelvin. Okay. Was Kelvin untouched in the last draft completely?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wrong. I will say, if there was a team that was going to make a Kelvin draft look terrifying, it's Abraham's. Like, I kind of like this ban because I think, you know, the Kelvin creates this opportunity to be like, Abraham's swarms over you, Kelvin dumps somebody off, free kill. And Abraham say, yeah, we've seen enough. No, Doorman, the shenanigans, you're not getting away with that Hoot. I mean, it's not really going to hurt Hoot as an individual. I do, though, agree that the Doorman, what we've seen the last few days, the new build, the new way of playing people have innovated. I mean, for him to be 60k damage and doing like he's not farming. He is just fighting 24/7 and he's top damage. That is so terrifying. So they get rid of the Doorman and the response is going to be first pick Bebop.
Okay. Shiv is coming through.
I don't hate that. I don't like that prediction. I think Shiv, Apollo, two heroes that got first ban last time could
Hold
consider
me
them
in Bebop. I'm a gut you. Okay, Silver's pretty good at it too.
Yeah, another hero who doesn't care so much about getting hooked.
Is Silver a Bebop counter or is it the opposite?
I think it's a very good matchup for Silver.
To like knock someone away.
I think it's still a good Silver matchup, mostly because you're one of the few heroes who can get hooked and then like actively engage after getting hooked. You don't necessarily need to run away. Bebop also really hates to get caught by the entangling bola. Like, you really need to be able to like run away fast when people go on you on Bebop. You have a huge hitbox. You have a lot of HP, but Silver is one of the best heroes, like not caring about high HP tanks and just still chunking through them.
The Sinclair has been picked by Abrahams. Is that to keep it away from Obikim? Because the last team banned it, Kaplan.
I don't think it's necessarily to keep away from Obikim. I think he's just a really good mid contester, like objective contester with the Rabbit Hex. We saw it last week as well when it came to the NA games that Sinclair can kind of completely single-handedly control the mid-boss pit because of the Rabbit Hex into stealing away rejuice, but also if you pick ultimates that fare really well into him, it kind of deters you away from going things like maybe Pocket, which we saw Cosmetic obviously play in the last game. So maybe it's like it's a double thing. We prevent you from playing certain heroes, but we also get a lot of control around these objectives that we know Abrahams love to play around. They love that mid-boss.
Yeah, you pick it early in the draft, and it kind of feels now the other team, anytime they draft a team fight ult, they're like, is it worth getting this team fight ult, or do we not want to give it to Sinclair? So it certainly complicates the drafting phase, I think, to grab it early. I also think Sinclair is one of the slipperiest heroes in the entire game, right? With his ability to teleport to the clone. You can like get in and get out from insane spots, getting Bebop hooked. Like, you basically have to keep him permanently slowing hexed to prevent that. And once he gets a Dispel Magic, it's just not happening. He is going to TP out. I also think stealing the Apollo ult is pretty underrated. It is a crazy ult to steal and have on a low cooldown because it gets you, out of trouble, like finishes off kills. You can dive super deep with it and then just teleport back using your double. So Sinclair is an interesting one for sure.
His kit too, because he takes like greater expansion, right? So it works really well with Titanic on.
He's going to buy the right items to enable it too. Abraham's also grabs the Mirage, so I think that carry looked super strong for Zergy this game. Although for Lowkey W, it's like, I think Venator did look good the last game, ultimately. Like, I still think that hero, a lot to be said about its ability to impact the game. Lowkey W are not going for it yet, though. They are turbo all in on the Spirit carry right now, and this is it's very reminiscent of the last game, right? They're like, we are going to go crazy in the mid game. We're hard prioing the heroes that let us fight at that mid stage of the game and get an advantage that we're confident we can swing to win. And 76?
We just reached 1,000 subs on the channel, a milestone here on episode 37. Thank you again for helping us get to 4 digits. Jake, people know this, of course, is going to help the show. As CFO, real quick, as we see the remaining draft picks coming in, we'll talk about them as the game starts. But what does this mean for like the crew? What does it mean for future episodes when we get some donations in the community funding like this?
Yeah, just to be transparent with everybody, like essentially what we do is we take all the revenue we get from Twitch and YouTube and we're like plowing it back into like running more shows, doing cool things, activating for the community. So whether it's people supporting the partners we get and like, actually engaging with the partnerships and some of these cool mods.
Trying to figure out how to do a LAN. I'm not allowed to say that. I just said that, but we don't have a sponsor attached to that hypothetical situation yet.
But exactly, right? We're plowing it all back into Deadlock Esports. We still feel like there's so much more growth and future on this game. So when people are able to support like that, or just, hey, even folks who can't financially support and are going to watch every week, tell their friends to be here, it all makes a difference. It's like the success of the show begets more, bigger events for the show, bigger opportunities, doubling down on the prize pool like we're able to do this week. So just it really, as somebody who's like enmeshed in building this business and trying to build Deadlock Esports, I can't tell you, like the community support, it makes a world of difference. It changes everything as far as the kind of scale and scope we're able to aim for.
But Jake,
what's up, Gaffa? What do you see?
The company trip to the Maldives.
Well, we're doing that.
Money on.
No. It's going back to the players.
Vegas, then the Maldives. Then a little bit of crypto. Right.
We put it all on black. We're gonna do a crazy.
Yeah, put it all on black. We're gonna double it. Double it again.
Right. Honestly,
double again,
I think if we leave it up to the community, we would have a little bit of fun in Vegas. They would keep us kind of honest, but they would let us go a little bit of rogue. Like we wouldn't bet it all, but maybe like 30%. Think about it. Also, I was told it is legal to gamble overseas. So if there's any cruise ship that wants to pick up players from Europe, pick up players from North America.
Deadlock cruise.
Do you imagine doing a Deadlock land cruise?
I can make some content. I'm really good at marketing. Let's talk. In the meantime, we got Who in the game saying something really interesting. Who? Be nice. It's time to get into this game. We've got Lash Out. We've got some Sinclairs. We've got Silvers, Minas, Mirages, and Paradoxes going up against the Warden crew. Who's thicker? Who's going to be better in the early game? Jake?
I think Lowkey W are basically... they're putting their chips on the table. They're calling their read of the meta because a couple of the heroes different, right, from game one. But I think this is essentially the same style, the same draft from game one, right? From a how this draft plays. I even like the Warden more in a way than the Mirage because I think Warden, he's gonna pretty much just hard farm until he gets max trap. But the max trap silence is crazy against a lot of these heroes like Lash, Silver, Sinclair. It's like a long duration silence if you're able to lock people down. And the way they've been playing is like Bebop, Haze. These are heroes that are going to buy Slowing Hex. They're going to set up these initiations, Apollo 2. Warden can come in and maybe hit a much earlier timing than somebody like Mirage could. So it is almost more all in on the draft and on the strategy of winning in the early game. And for Abrahams, I do think they have a stronger late game. And they weren't as greedy as I think Leviathan were in the last game. So I do think it's going to be a harder one for Lowkey W. But I feel like I was made a believer by game one in the concept of like playing the Haze. The Pocket can carry the late game. You even have Celeste. So your late game Spirit carry, pretty significant. And that means you're not so all in on the Warden to hit a crazy ultra late game. He can start getting active maybe a little bit earlier and maybe even pushing the pace against Abraham. So Really interested to see how this one plays out. It's always going to come down to execution when you play a tempo draft. If you like throw away a bad team fight, you really can lose that lead. But
look up, Jake. Look up, Jake. Look up.
No, not there.
Oh my God.
Incredible Mouse with another 100 tips. Sorry, keep that thought rolling as the player prize pools continue to grow.
It's gonna buy me like 8 margaritas at the pool in the mountains right there. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, we drink
12.
mezcal on the rocks here. We're classy gentlemen.
I'm looking at Lowkey W though. Is Listic actually gonna be on the Apollo? I mean, Cosmetical probably gonna be on the Pocket. Hoot, I would guess on the Celeste, and then Vraic on the Bebop. I think Vraic will be kind of similar to what we saw before with the Viscous to allow Obi-Kim to be successful, use it as an escape mechanism. Yeah. One thing I do worry about is, I don't know, the Abraham side, I'm still not really hating this. The fact they can still weigh an affliction on you and just turn a fight around. They have so much mid control as well with Sinclair. I just hope Lowkey W doesn't fight in really bad positions, which they've definitely done in the past.
Jake, can we turn off the sponsors for a moment so I can ask this question? Did you read it in chat?
I don't. I'm super scared when you ask that question. I don't know what you're gonna say, but
is it a shirt idea?
Yeah, it's a shirt idea.
No. I don't think we can talk about that one.
All right, okay. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna veto whatever you're saying. I would like us.
Whatever
to
happens on the cruise can stay on the cruise or be turned into a T-shirt to talk about what you did on the cruise. In the meantime, we've got the Abrahams taking on Lowkey W, and the producers are cutting me off. Shoppy, take us away to the first game of the grand finals.
Shoppy saving us with some healthy and wholesome dancing, some good vibes.
I like how Puckett asked you, like, can I say this? And you instantly just no.
I'm like so skeptical.
Don't even know,
I'm
what it was.
Skeptical.
I just know it's a no.
If you need to ask for permission, I feel like I'm scared. I'm scared, guys. I'm turbo focused on. We're going late game. We're going late game.
We got two. We got two Shoppies.
The dab on us.
Is it true Shoppy got trained in the dancing arts by the Jabberwockies?
Yes, I don't know. I only know a little bit about that, but
no, yes. It's the tiny teddy bears from Star Wars. Ewoks, I think they're called.
I could see it.
Definitely a spicy one.
Did I show my age there, Jake? You don't know who the Jabberwockies are?
I have heard of the name, but I don't know them.
It was like a dancing crew in like this MTV show way back in the day, and you would like dance battles. And like judges would choose who had like the best dance. It was like I don't know, like 8 or 10
We
of
should
them.
have dance battles on this show. That's all. That's my first thought when you say that.
I don't want to be involved in that. I don't dance.
I mean, you're the one who brought it up. It's kind of on you.
I can do the Macarena, and that's about it.
That might take on the cruise, like captive audience, like.
That sounds more like a punishment, like
a couple marks in you from the pool, like no, never say never.
That would be sick. Have you ever been on a cruise, Jake?
I have one time. I'm going to say it's not, as an introvert, it's not really my forte to be locked in on a boat with many, many people.
Bro, you get to like go eat any time of the day. You wake up at 2 a.m. I could do some cookies and pizza. Guess what?
There's I can do that at home, man. I can. I'm an adult. I can eat whatever I want. I'm not 6, man. I don't have to wait for my mom to make dinner.
But you don't have to go out and buy it. You can just like go get it. It's like
True.
Damn, you got me on that one. I'm an adult. Crap, I didn't think of that. You got me
there, eat whatever you want. This is revolutionary.
I mean, I don't have any cookies at home, but
I got some cookies. I'll bring you some cookies.
I'll bring them on the cruise. Gummy worms still. I could bust out a bag of those.
Oh, wait, that could go crazy.
Just have to remind myself not to eat the whole bag on air again because it tickled the back of my throat, and
I'm not gonna lie,
it all go out.
I went through all those bags we got in like 2 weeks, man. I was a fiend. I cannot have those in my house because they're too good, man.
Bro, the pre-workout?
I'm not to be trusted.
Like that's a good pre-workout, honestly.
Pre-workout gummies? Okay, that goes kind of crazy. Get your blood sugar up. All right.
I'm an adult. Someone needs to clip it out for me. I need to use that for something. No, Jason, I'm an adult. I can have cookies and pizza whenever I want. I don't have to go to a cruise for it.
Only on the ocean, only in international waters is it legal to, in fact, eat cookies and pizza. I mean, you really gotta watch yourself. Stay covered out there.
Oh, so you think you can dance? That was the show. Thank you so much. All right. Anyways, back into the game here because this is our grand finals and it is a record-breaking prize pool. You see the top left-hand side corner is not broken. 52.90 at the moment. 5,000 coming in from Shopify, Intel, and Newegg, and 290 coming in from your support of you guys at home. A lot of money to be won here. The biggest on the night shift ever. Zarzo does get hooked in initially, and it will actually be Listic on the Bebop. I thought it was going to be Vrake, actually, and Vrake's going to be over on the Apollo. So a little bit of a switch up on the Lowkey W side.
Yeah, and some aggressive trades coming in. They're really trying to put the screws to Listic, punish this Bebop for stepping up in the lane, but it also means Apollo gets some pretty aggressive trades at a very high health total, and I think this is a character that really likes to be dominant and aggressive in the lane, right? A high HP total is going to really assist with that. Let him put that HP to work, getting under the walker, popping those Mystic Bursts. Don't expect there to be any crazy advantage in the early laning phase. I think teams at this level, they're just too careful, right? They're too good at playing defensively, holding the towers. You're probably going to need to see ults come online or big roams before more than maybe a pick off here and there. Can certainly help. Obviously, finding first blood is always a nice little boost for teams. Definitely curious to see how the Warden plays. I myself, I'm such a Warden enjoyer. Every time there's a new patch, I'm like trying to play Warden.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted by Sana Sniper Empty. It's a new player we have on the Abraham side coming on in. I don't know if you noticed.
Sniper Empty. Yeah. I'm with you on the top screen.
Just do a limit of like how many characters people are allowed to have in their names. And I think Sana Sniper and Empty Dreams kind of surpassed that limit. But I think, look at the last game into this one. One of the biggest playmakers for me, again, was obviously Hoot. But I think Cosmetical, and I kind of keep a close tab on him over the course of this game, because his afflictions, he did whiff a couple. Like he either like missed or he hit like 1 or 2 people, but he hit it when it mattered. And he hit was like 3 people, was able to force them back and give Lowkey W like the full control of that fight. For him, I want to see him have another good game like that. I think he's honestly one of the win conditions for Lowkey W, because when they win, he looks really good, and when they're not winning, he doesn't really have as much impact.
By the way, Vrake just ganked and missed every single skill. Like, that is so sad. I mean, I don't think it's the end of the world. Like, it's the mid lane's fine, but that was just a particularly tragic little clip from Vrake. I mean, they were all kind of close, but Rapace just didn't get anything, didn't hit a single of the flawless advance or the disengaging sigil.
He was just thinking about the pizza and cookies he could be eating right now.
Yeah, that's true. He's distracted. Got to stay locked in, man. With this much money on the line, biggest prize pool ever in the night shift history.
Buys a lot of cookies.
Does you can buy a lot of cookies. $5,000.
Talking about that. I kind of want to keep talking about it. I'm not though. Anyways, I've seen Task back on Paradox. I mean, Paradox, I think got some buffs as well. Talking to AVG, thinking Paradox actually came out pretty well ahead, and Pocket combined. And Task is one of the OG Paradox players. If anyone can make it work, I think it's going to be him. And of course, Saint on the Sinclair kind of put him in more of a playmaker role than he previously was when it came to Kelvin.
Yeah, I think Bebop 2 is going to, looks like he's getting away with the full Headhunter rush, which I think is always a really nice start to the game. He's going to be weak for this one more wave, right? But once he gets this farm, should be enough for Headhunter. By the way, shout out to everyone bringing those primes in. Keep them coming. Nice hook here. And I think maybe does not have access to the double. Could be on cooldown right now with Celeste, and they're going to be able to finish off that kill. Ends up going the way of Listic, so a nice little find for him. And with buffs spawning, looks like it's going to be a split 1-to-1 on the buff. See what they're able to roll here, this RNG. Always nice if you're able to grab a Vitality. Movement, probably the worst possible roll, but Sonya Lash is going to get a gun buff, which isn't really the best hero buff combo. So neither buff I think is going to be too game-breaking. If anything, Obakim could be able to set up some deeper ganks than would normally be possible with that extra movement.
I did actually forget, looking back at the fact that Listic's on Bebop, he's been having like a major Bebop arc on his stream. I remember like a week or 2 ago, he's been playing nothing but Bebop, so definitely kind of fits. He's been hitting some really good hooks initially. If you think about him and Obi pairing together, a Sleep Dagger into a hook, I mean, it's guaranteed, or a hook into a Sleep Dagger, whatever it might be. That's a lot of lockdown, especially with a cage on top of that. There's some really big kill potential for the Lowkey W side if they hit these hooks. Plus, Bebop is always viable the entire game. All it takes is one hook to win you a team fight. To get you initial kill, to get you an objective, or whatever it might be.
Big sounds on the Pocket. Does he have the skills to be able to slip away from this one? Looks like with the Rake missing, should be able to get out of that one. That was closer than it would seem, though, right? If you're able to get that, the Bat proc plus able to get that Rake, I think that would have been enough to kill Cosmetical. Affliction is out. It's on together. Still pretty healthy, and here comes a committed ult trying to go in. They do get that finish onto Cosmetical. Or together rather, even with ultimate, doesn't really want to force out, although with Mirage TPing in, maybe he will, although hold on, that TP does get canceled, so a nice save. That TP would have been enough to shut down Obakim, and maybe a tower dive to be coming in. I mean, this haze is very low and basically has to hit a perfect sleep to stay alive. But with Spawner coming back in, maybe they're not going to attempt it.
Well, let's get another hook, this time onto Arzo. I think it's a stolen Tani Losan coming on through. She locks Listic down, gets him down to half HP now, looking to escape. Another ultimate coming on in, this time out of Vrake. The real Tani Losan And even the backup as well. This is an all-out brawl on the mid lane here. Hoots actually pushed away 2 players on Abraham's side. No,
Last
that's
ulti?
coming on in. He's kind of low in HP now.
Yeah, no connection off of that one. So that's, I mean, big exchange of ults around the mid lane, but nobody dies. So both teams, I think, playing really cautiously, carefully. Neither one wants to make the mistake. Flash willing to take some trades, but Celeste is a pretty scary hero to trade with, right? With that Spirit lifesteal off with the first kill, can be quite threatening. Dive on the mid, though, is going to be good. Even it's Arzo as well, picking up that finished kill. Always a nice one to find on Mirage. Liking Curse from Silver. She's going to be happy about that, getting some extra HP and thinking about a continuation onto this mid tower. No one's here to defend this. It looks like that tower is going to be going down. Yeah, big push. Silver does deceptively high tower damage with this Liking Curse.
Let's just go Hyper Beam. Looks like he's going to commit it. Oh, she hits the hook again.
Huge
Puts together
catch.
back towards the Guardian. 70 HP left and dead. Listic again. Will turn around into another kill. It has Headhunters, his first item being picked up. And Hoot's back in the mid lane. Even Obikim's here. They really want to go for an all-out battle.
Oh, this is massive because I believe, okay, they don't defend the Guardian, but they do get 2 kills off it, which I just think is more than enough. Mirage TPing in actually just to save Mina here and might be able to turn things around though onto Cosmetical, who's gone quite deep, running low on skills. The Bola gonna shut him down and surely dead to rights here. Empty Dream's gonna pick up that finish. Good little defensive rotation. Mina was getting run down there. And even Obukim came into this, but it looks like he's throwing good money after bad. Gonna get run down here. He has to be able to move his way out of this one, trying to break enough distance to get away with the invis. And I think he may have done just that.
And with the center spawned on him, Obikim's actually sticking around here towards this left-hand side jungle. Gains information. As I say, maybe can pull off the kill here. He's gonna get caught out by Together. Bola's gonna connect. Some good movement though, able to slide through. She creates some distance and has the backup out of Rake now there.
I mean, Hayes has I believe, the best stamina pool, so you actually are incredibly mobile. By the way, I think Vrake just grabbed the entire doubles there and got out, which is nice. Together was looking for the punish. Maybe will end up finding Pocket. Pocket wisely reads it though, knows that that cape's being watched, and looks like he slipped out another way.
Some good invade though to take away centers from Lowkey W. You're Together, who's just been around the map quite a bit. I do kind of wonder, I feel like Abrahams, they really want like objective fights. They really want to fight around urns. They want to fight around walkers. The split push potential of having a Mirage, first of all, is already crazy. But then you have like a Lash and Sinclair to pair together, as well as a Paradox to swap on in. It's I think, very difficult for Lowkey W to challenge out when it comes to these team fights around objectives. But they also have some pretty good pick potential themselves.
Yeah, the ult's coming out here from Hayes and Warden, and it looks like it's going to be 2 quick kills, both going the way of Obukim. Nice finds for the Hayes on this tempo build. Slowing Hex comes out immediately, strong team fight, and that's going to be a ton of space for Zergy to really just dominate this side of the map. The Warden's going to have, this is like a dream game for Warden, right? He's getting off to some early kills. Nice little movement from Together though to avoid getting knocked off the pad and keep him alive and healthy on the high ground. But with buff spawning, it's going to be, looks like a bit of a brawl here on this left side.
Nowhere to really escape because your assistant's there on the buff anyways. Buff spawned on in. It's going to be surrounded for Zerg on the right-hand side. It's going to be casting for Together. So the Death Slam catches on to 2, though it might cost the life of Sandra's Sniper down to 150 HP, using that ground strike just to get away. But look at the mini-map. Lowkey W are all here ready to fight. They has spawned on in, and it's going to be picked up by Vrake.
Listic does get that Headhunter proc, finishing off Lash. Gonna get run down, though, by Silver, but with an Affliction on 2, they don't want to stick around too long into this one. Satan trouble ticking down, but Mirage has come to fight into this one, and maybe Cosmetical will get punished for throwing down that Affliction. Saint seems like he's going to get away from this one as well. Kill-wise, it's a winning trade for Abrahams, but it does give Urn control into a lane where Zergy is like dominating. It's very scary to come pressure the Warden, especially with Vitality buff, so looks kind of like a free dunk to meet here, Jason. So I think in the end, it is actually a win for Lowkey W. Yeah,
I don't really think there's any contest in this. No Death Slam, nothing to stop this one coming on through. But as you pointed out before, those Zergy on 11,000 souls, 12k now. He has been left alone in this right-hand lane. Lowkey W has been fighting with a 5-man squad away from him. No one's really been able to contest against him. No one's even hit the 10k mark on Abraham's side. And I do wonder, how are they going to leverage his soul lead into objectives or into advantageous fights? Are they going to keep letting him farm up? Are they going to force fights around like mid-boss? Are they going to force that Walker to go on down? I think there's a lot of choices Lowkey W can make here.
I should know this, but I don't know with the recent change, what's the soul count when you get the max trap? You basically have to go max flask first on Warden to just farm efficiently. It's basically a necessity, especially when you buy Quicksilver Reload and maybe Surge of Power. You just basically need that skill max. But when the trap maxes, when you get that silence on the trap, that's when I expect Zergy to start showing a little bit more presence in these fights. By the way, some highway robbery here from a half HP Overkim. This is a incredibly aggressive move, and even though he's Rapid Hex, he's still bullet dancing on Saint, who gets caught from the slowing Hex. Saint did not see that one coming.
I think that was also a trap out of Zergy to lock him into that position so they could confirm that kill and also take away these Sinners. Man, they have a huge lead, almost 10k 12 minutes in. This is a phenomenal start out of Lowkey Dub. If they can keep this momentum up, who's been pushing the left-hand lane to keep Abrahams honest. And you can see how quickly this soul difference has grown in what, the last 2 minutes of time?
Yeah, I mean, this is basically shades of last game, right? It feels like the same story. You know, it's like the game's pretty even, and then Hayes starts getting active with the ult, the rest of the team finding value. I feel like the Bebop looks way better this game, where on the aggressive side, rather than trying to be defensive and counterplay, he's starting the plays on Bebop. And the fact that he's able to go with this aggressive gun build, like, Abraham's constantly on the back foot. Like, you've got to be pretty scared of, like, trading with this Bebop in the lane. And I mean, Lash is like throwing some harass out, but ultimately, you're the guy standing here hitting creeps. You're the stronger one in the lane.
Not to mention Hoot's also by his side too, looking for the punish on towards him.
Really deep rundown. He is going to get swapped in silence. The spell magic is going to get him out, and I think Hoot might be out. They maybe still look for the rundown, but Celeste is just, she's so mobile. Yeah, they're not even going to try and chase it.
I mean, how do you even slowing Hexer, or not slowing Hex, sorry, Rapid Hex? You saw Saint put one down and Hoot just danced around it and got completely away from it. So there's no way to actually get locked down. As another bolt dance coming on through with the Warp Stone, trying to take down this Mina. Empty Dreams is really low on health. He does have backup there though, so I'm not 100% sure he's gonna be able to get this kill. If anything, I think Empty Dreams is gonna be able to escape this one. It's
yeah, they might
who needs to run.
Might be able to turn it around on him, but he's healthy. He's invis. He has Warp Stone. Just getting away with that is already nice. Looks like the Lash ult came in. Warden's gonna throw the ult out to get the extra resist and try and fight this one out. Needs the heal from the creeps, but actually Together is here. And first time Zergy really shows up in a big walker push and actually gets punished pretty brutally for it. So a big mistake from the most farmed hero in the game right now. It's gonna be a nice find. Can Lowkey W find anything off that tempo advantage that a lot of heroes showed defensively? The other side of the map, it's open season for Lowkey W to look for a fight, but Mirage standing pretty tall here.
It almost felt like Obikim actually baited Zergy into that fight, because Obikim, he's the one that bolt danced, he warp stoned under the walker trying to take down Empty Dreams. I think Zergy rotated back in to help him, and then he was the one that actually paid the ultimate price there. Kind of unfortunate, but he was also down for 30, 40 seconds of time, allowing everyone else to catch up. I think you really can't understate how important it is to not die while ahead, because not only are you not getting souls, you're also dead for a lot longer, and everyone else catches up to you. You can see now only a 1k lead over Arzo.
Yeah, that definitely is going to hurt the game. I still think you're in the driver's seat for Lowkey W. They just need to keep finding those trademark initiations, setting the Haze up for success, finding the right kind of a team fight to start. Those Haze ultis have felt really scary. Like, historically, this hasn't been the strongest ulti until the ultra late game, but Obakim's really making it work with this really new way of approaching the hero.
Looks like Toxic Bullet's going to be coming in for Arzo. I feel like we haven't seen Toxic Bullets as a staple for Mirage in quite a while. I guess the change is inevitably making him go towards that direction as Listy gets a gun buff with Headhunter and slowing bullets on top of this. He's going to be a pain to deal with here as the next turn is going to be spawning in on the right-hand side.
I do like the Toxic buy against Warden in particular. Like, he's a very high HP carry who really hates the percent-based bleed, and also he has a lot of self-heal that gets punished. Nice zip knock, though. Who caught slacking. Tried to do a little bit too much greed-wise, but still manages to grab that shield, and the extra follow-up isn't really there. Lash a little bit low on stamp. Boots out of this scot-free. A little cover by Zergy to keep the Celeste alive. That would have been a very annoying find to give away to Sonya.
I think luckily for Hoot, there wasn't really a big investment either. If anything, didn't have to use his Dispel Magic. You're in the hand, though, of Listic as he's trying to run it across, and it looks like Abrahams will be going for the contest this time, keeping Cosmetical on the right-hand lane. More importantly, to deal with Empty Dreams, you can't push your walker on down, leaving it to a 5-on-5 on the left-hand side. With Abrahams having that initial control, you can hear that Together hooked in through out of Obikim.
Yeah, Together gets hooked in there. Follow-up is there immediately from Obikim. Stolen Italian Losad immediately responded to a bit of a sword fight here on the side lane. Saint on just a tiny sliver of HP. And Listic out here just boxing it up with the best of them, man. Fearlessly running down the enemy carry right now. This Mirage pretty farmed. You maybe want to be a little bit careful about that, but as the dust settles, it's still a dominant fight. And yeah, it looks like Mirage is going to get caught. Now surrounded, hit from all sides. The Spell Magic is out. And that's going to mean open season for Obikim, just laying in the damage. Dust Devil slows things down, and actually, they're going to back off. They're not going to chase for more. Too scared of the potential swap from Paradox. Listic without the HP to continue to chase. So Arzo enough damage to scare away the opposition. That is a big moment. Like losing the Mirage there would have been really terrible for your game plan.
Oh, nice satchel dodge away from the Rake. I think Empty Dreams also kind of cut the wave behind Cosmetical, so you couldn't push that right-hand walker while the Erdem was being turned in, which did get dunked in by Hoot.
Oh, he's dead.
Lead.
Return fire? Is it going to proc Lycan Curse? It just might, but will it be enough to get out? Stuck in the trap. Immobilize comes out. The silence prevented him from jumping away. And so, yeah, Zergy with max trap, right? Like, it's really hard to fight into this. I think this is a big issue for them. Mina is going to rip the ult here. Nox Monster trying to bring in some aggressive damage. A stolen affliction just on Ballistics Bebop. He's going to probably just have to back out, peel away from this team fight. They're trying to run him down. They're trying to finish the kill. They'd love to find it, but there's more players coming into this one. They're not going to let it go for free here on Lowkey W. They might be able to force a team fight. Asanya tries to get out of this, but with the slowing hex, with the bullet dance, stand boost is enough, but not quite to get out.
I mean, I think they might even lose another player. Arzo going up in a 1-on-2 up against Hoot and Zergy on the left-hand side. He's able to push Zergy out. And Arzo now down to about 700 HP. Hoot's trying not to give this one up, but Together's going to be coming in back in from the zip line, as well as Task rotating on forward here, and Hoot's going to have to just turn tail and run.
Look at that proc,
no
man.
That
the max Jin.
Then.
Yeah, that bites, man. I think Hoot sticking around a little too long, not anticipating the support coming in. So it's a good rotation for Abrahams. Abrahams have been really aware. Like, there's been a couple times where Arzo's been in really serious trouble, but every time Abrahams has bailed him out, and I think that's what's kept the Soul lead to, yes, 10K is like meaningful, but honestly, any deaths there on Mirage would have been really, really rough, right? Could have opened up objectives like mid-boss or, you know, stealing a ton of camps away. So the fact that Abrahams are so aware of this aggression and are making sure when it comes Arzo's way that it is responded to is, I think, a testament to their strength as a team.
I also think the fact that Arzo basically wins a 1v2 there. Like, he forced Zergy out and was able to kill Hoot when Together rotated on in. I think it just shows how much damage Arzo's really doing at the moment on this Mirage, and you need multiple people to deal with him. Especially the Toxic Bolts online, as you already pointed out before, up against Zergy. So it's a decent matchup right now for Abrahams on the left-hand side, with the two carries going head-to-head while there's bouts breaking everywhere else. And so with the 10K lead for Lowkey W, you have to wonder, where is the allocation in? Can we actually take a look here at like the souls per player on our lovely little bar graph to see where the majority are, and more importantly, like which team has the most? So it's gonna be 2 players from Lowkey W and then 2 players from Abrahams.
Taking the lead over the Warden, and I actually don't mind it, right? You know, we were coming out of a meta in which the carry was always Gun, right? Maybe Mina was like the one exception, but basically always the carry was Gun. Pocket is like the true spirit hero. He's not like Mina or Mirage, whose gun does spirit damage. He just is a spirit carry, and he's getting huge scaling in this game. So expect to see him come online. I think a lot of Pocket mains will be really curious to see what the build ends up being for Cosmetical to go towards that late game.
You were never really a Pocket main, right? You're always like Viscous.
No. Yeah, Viscous. I mean, Viscous is the only like spirit nuker I play. I mostly play gun carries.
Interesting. They need to release like a Juntrat type hero with like grenades, and I wonder how well you'd be able to. You'd easily be like top 10 NA for sure if that happened. What task is going to go down? Facilitated by a nice hook. Another survival buff coming on through. I mean, Listic already has fortitude and he has survival on top of this. The roaming potential of him to go in and out of fights is just going to be crazy.
He's a big tanky boy. A little earn pickup. Looks to be grabbed for free here, as the golden egg is going to go on the back of Celeste, who's one of our best earn running heroes, right? With that improved air movement. Nice little the wall bounce trick off the pad. Second wall. Oh, is this going to be? Let's see this. We got to stay on this cam. Not quite perfect run. A little awkward around the mid, but extremely good. Scared to run it direct, though, with players potentially looking to contest and grab the urn out of his hands. Zergy is getting ganked, though, in our picture-in-picture. The Warden kill would be a nice one to find, but he's still fighting decently well in the 1v2. And if you kill this Warden, it's nice, but if you give up the urn for it, it may not be worth. Affliction onto 4 from Cosmetical. Counter Affliction, though, is onto 2. The dunk does come in. Fight looks good, though, for Lowkey W. They've already found the kill into Saint. A second is going to follow soon onto Empty Dreams, as yes, he does take out. Cosmetical finds the finish. And yes, you did shut down Zergy's Warden. It's a nice find, but giving 2 kills and an earn and potentially a mid-boss back the other way, you're very happy to take this trade on Lowkey W.
Oh, for sure. And I think the response out of Abraham shows with Sonic Sniper still pushing that walker of, okay, we're probably just going to get this mid-boss up. I mean, Tass and Together rotated on in. It looks like they actually might go for the contest here, but they're going to be a little bit
pretty late.
Jake, I think this is pretty much free now for Lowkey W. Sonic's coming on in. He has the Death Slam. Gets slow and hexed up. Can't get the height he needs, and that's going to be the first region away Lowkey W. He actually gets the throwaway onto 2, and Tass steals away 1.
Insane counter parry on Tass. Tass did so well to mitigate that, but in the end, The one rejuve that Abraham's grabbed is already off the field. Lowkey W is still with 2 rejuves to play with, and Zergy is respawned. He is coming back to this fight. Huge hook from Listic, drags Mirage back into the thick of the fight here in the pit. Stolen Affliction, but completely whiffed there from Saint. Expected players to still be in the pit, but they have moved on, looking for kills now. Abrahams looks like they're going to be able to back out with the rest of their team. Waves are really problematic here for Lowkey W. Mina might even be able to grab one more walker, finish off the job that Sonya started earlier on. But their players are rotating in to kind of collapse and catch them on their way out. So Mina's got to be careful with their movement right now.
Listic can somehow hit this hook. It would open up a potential take on the left or the right-hand side. I mean, Zergy is still formidable at 24,000 souls. Would love to be able to get a walker for himself. The hook is up. Not going to quite connect, though. Very hard to hit a Mina, obviously.
Yeah, insane hook to hit if you do. Very, very unlikely. But Mina's being kept off the pad. Stolen Shining Wonder, maybe going to get in, do some bounces, but in the end, yeah, Mina's just running out of gas. Doesn't have the skills to continue to escape. Listic with that fortitude, running it down. I'll just sit here, hold the rest of that Stolen Celeste Orb. The dust settles. 2 rejuves here. Cost Zergy his life to be able to accomplish that, but and he's actually, hold on, getting potentially run down by Mirage. Purges off the Toxic, purges off some of the Jinsmark stacks. I think that likely is going to be enough, yeah, with his teammates coming in. But it definitely is a little scary that your most farm carry cannot stand toe-to-toe to Mirage. I mean, Mirage is an insane 1v1 hero, but nonetheless, right, it's an advantage for Abrahams. It's something that they can work with in a really rough situation in the game that is only getting rougher. I mean, everyone else is not able to stand up to the fighting power of Lowkey W.
I mean, they're simultaneously pushing all 3 lanes at once, splitting the defense out of Abrahams. Together and Saint on the left, sorry, Sonya and Saint on the left-hand side. Oakham's shoving down middle. And they've been trying to make some presence on the right-hand side, but stopping for it really quickly for some Sinners, which I don't hate whatsoever.
Curse already
with the knockdown. It's yeah, not looking good here for Weekend. Maybe he can create some distance to escape. He actually bought time. Listic's rotate on in. The rejuve's going to go down, but I don't think MTG is going to survive with his life.
Yeah, Dispel and Bats are out. Chase is on here. Big catch. Oh, Mina, yeah, she's out of gas. Nothing left. Nice find from Listic there. Ensures that kill, and pretty happy to give up a rejuve, I think, for a kill like Mina. With Lash Hold available, sieging a walker is a little scary, but one thing that is, I think, pretty relevant, this game is still 3 walkers available for Abrahams. Those are souls that you haven't quite cashed in for Lowkey W. I will say, though, we're going to come to the point where they're going to start wanting those flex slots pretty bad pretty soon. I think especially Warden, typically kind of that 3K item merchant, really probably wants to find a walker take somewhere, and it is a little bit scary to just dry siege a walker. Even with a lead, even with a rejuve, it's kind of the way you throw the game. So I do think the builds are going to have to be kind of optimized here for Lowkey W. They need to wait for the good team fight to come to them and try not to let this lack of a flex slot limit their builds.
I think the big downside I'm seeing for Lowkey W is it only feels like really who is going to be successful in pushing these walkers down. I think Zergy, compared to the last game on Mirage, he doesn't have the escape that a Mirage has on Warden. I mean, yeah, you can try to go toe-to-toe, but if you go in a 1-on-2 like we saw before, you're going to die, and then guess what? You're not farming anymore. Maybe you get the walker. But I don't really see that like split push potential of Lowkey W in this game, unfortunately.
Left side of the map, a little too scary for Abrahams to step out. So it looks like Cosmetical is going to grab a buff for free. Mina and Lash coming closer. But looks like it was a movement buff grabbed by Pocket. When he just capes away, he should be just fine. So double buff comes in. Zergy even gets a gun buff. Great buffs to have on the side of Lowkey W. On top of the net worth lead, Rejuve is almost out though. So maybe hard to force much other than just grabbing this first earn pickup and looking for that dunk to start to grow this soul lead.
Third earn of the game for Lowkey W. Should have fared this one over for the turn-in. Going to be a neutral turn-in, which is, I think, going to be quite big here. And I'm trying to look to see where Sonya Sniper is going to go, if he's going to get the initial vision around the map, or they're going to test directly on towards middle, and the fight has broken out. Hook comes in, catches out Sonya.
A little bit lucky.
Double hook on him.
Yeah,
Actually, probably kill him before he gets the Death Slam up here. Like, Lash is extremely low in health. He's been forced to run away. There's no chance for a good Death Slam to come in.
Oh, and the Italo San cuts down Saint, ensures that there's not going to be a stolen ult in this fight. Another hook on Amina, pulls her back into the thick of the fight, not where she wants to find herself. Consideration from Last to go for the ult, another connection. Oh my god, that is way too close. Diving in now, looking to finish off Together, who almost is able to find Zergy, but the Warden just a little bit too tanky. Although, hold on, Sonya does manage to slip in and find that finished kill. That's actually a massive kill to find, despite the fact that the fight overall is a giant dub for Lowkey W. I don't want to take away from it, but without Warden, pushing a walker feels a lot less consistent, but another hook on the Lash could give you the time to have Warden back in the fight for one more push.
I see Mirage.
As I don't know what this is, but don't go near it. I gotta say, don't go near that, whatever it is.
I am a little bit surprised that we haven't seen any walkers taken just yet from Lowkey, and with those final kills coming on through, especially on the Sonya, we finally see this defense break here of Abraham's. The lead has exploded to 25k now. With one walker in the mid lane going down, maybe that's all we're going to see for now, but you can be sure as hell certain that these other walkers aren't going to last much longer with the lead right now. 30k, 27 minutes in for Lowkey. Probably the biggest lead they've had against Abraham's in a very long time.
Yeah, and the patience on going for these walkers has absolutely been rewarded. Like, they haven't worried about it. They haven't tried to force a push. Zergy, I don't even think he's attempted it, right? And I actually think it's worked out really well for them, right? They're just like, hey, we're playing the earn dunks, we're playing the mid-map. Game, though, needs to progress from here. A missed sleep should mean Mina has a good chance to escape here, but the curse is still very annoying for her. Does pump that metal skin. Beautiful counterspell, though. Buys you just enough time, movement speed, and healing to be able to slip away from that Nox Nostra. But still, a bullet dance without a kill is a little bit of a longer cooldown ultimate here. So in the end, though, it's Obakim. Like, he's playing a tempo ways. He's kind of willing to throw that out speculatively.
Mid boss should be coming out soon. And I mean, we talked about Abraham's before, Saint, the potential he has for contests on this. But this lead of 30k, man, I mean, yeah, like, you might be able to get a rabbit hex off, but I also don't see necessarily Lowkey trying to force a mid boss, Jake, when they're this far ahead. I feel like it's the lit. Don't go near it.
It's going to be there the rest of the game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you just don't force it, though. Like, I feel like there's no advantage for Lowkey to force a fight on mid boss until Saint is dead.
Yeah, you know, with this lead, it's getting pretty scary, but I think the way Lowkey has been playing, they have not forced any objective. They're always looking for the fights, right? And I think it's worked out well for them. They have a comp that fights incredibly well. I think going to the mid boss is like the way you lose this game. And Listic has also had Sonya's number in a crazy way, scaling really nicely. And oh, here comes a catch on it together. He needs to be able to do enough damage to pop this ultimate. Doesn't come out in time, though. The explosion just comes in out of nowhere. Third of the HP gone in an instant. Affliction onto 2. The counterspell wasn't quite timed right for Listic, so he actually might be on the menu for a kill from Sonya. Steps up. Yeah, bad rotation from Listic. Took a aggressive path there and gets cut down. Still an Affliction on 3 from the real Pocket and Cosmetical. But Abrahams, they'll take a 1-for-1. At this phase of the game, I think that's absolutely fine.
It had to have been intentional, because I think the Rabbit Hex came in to force out or prevent any counterspells from being used for that Affliction. At least it felt like it. As we saw Listic getting caught on it. I mean, he tried to counterspell after the Rabbit Hex, but it was too late. He was already afflicted at that point, and I guess it only hit one target, so it wasn't the biggest affliction in the world for Saint. But still, trade 1-for-1, I think it prevents Abrahams from going for a mid-boss. And honestly, it kind of feels like that might be the play for Abrahams, if they continue to fall further and further behind 31k now. You might just have to go for a Hail Mary play on mid-boss and try to force Lowkey into a bad position. But again, I just don't see how it's going to work out too well for you when you have Zergy there with the last stand. He's already at 34k. You have Cosmetical at 40,000. Has he even died this game?
I wouldn't be surprised the answer is no. Maybe in the super early game, but he has been really stable on Pocket. I really feel like this team, they're playing for the Pocket as kind of the ultimate late game right now. 40k. Pocket has credible damage to bring to bear here. Nice potential catch onto Celeste. Some concussive shots slowing her down. Mirage getting a couple procs on her, and Sonya finishes his plate. So who does go down? It's going to mean a secured buff grabbed by Together. With that survival online, it's going to be that much harder to burst Together down, which has kind of been the way some of these fights have been starting. Like, he has not been able to get this Lycan curse off too often. And with a favored earn turn in, this is a nice little comeback moment for Abrahams. This is going to, not fully equalize the soul advantage, but it's going to go a long way.
It's definitely going to help for sure. Though, I thought we were going to see maybe Lowkey go for the contest, because I can see Listic's in the vicinity looking for maybe a hook.
Very risky.
I thought he was gonna maybe go for a hook by the like tier 2 camp.
He didn't realize. He didn't realize. He thought it was a normal dunk, I think.
If I have to.
I see Pocket.
Still, Spirit buff on Vrake. The Talil Son's pretty meaningful burst, especially if you're afflicted, right? It really gives Vrake just like a full go sign to just go crazy, dive into the backline. Point Blank is going to be picked up, though, which should give a lot more damage to Together, enable him to be a little bit more consistent, sticking on top of targets, and even just getting the damage down in the first place to pop that Lycan transformation. And with 40k Mirage on fire, like with Arzo's stability in the early game, it feels like it is paying dividends now to keep you in this game, right? You know, this is a game that very well could have gotten out of control, and it didn't, largely thanks to the stability of this Mirage's game. Like, he is absolutely a credible threat in the fights. Like, You cannot just sort of stand here and ignore him, tank him while your team fights. Like, he is going to find those kills if he can get max Jin smart procs.
I feel like he has the space as well to play from the backhand side, having like Sonya be like a focus target. Nelson coming on out here out of Empty Dreams to alleviate the damage being done by Listic, but it's still, even the bomb's still hurt with this build. He has blood tribute popped here. Cosmetical gets one, he gets a second as well, giving a huge man advantage out of Lowkey W's. Cosmetical's gotten a triple kill. And yeah, you're not going to escape for Tass either. Run straight into the Stone Golem.
And Arzo and Sonya nowhere to be found in this fight. The fight just came down way too quickly. Lowkey W explode out of nowhere. Abrahams aren't ready for it. They lose 4 before the 2 most farm heroes on Abrahams can participate whatsoever. Now on the outside looking in, Sonya is thinking about doing what he can to be annoying and maybe kind of disrupt this. They feel like they have to. They feel like they cannot give up a triple rejuve here. Sonya now on the attack. They're going to hunt him down, trying to get this last kill, but it looks like he baited them well and maybe slipped away from that one. Slowing things down, but still the rejuve drops 30 seconds till the teammate spawn. It's a 2v5.
Oh, he hooked Arzo away, so he couldn't actually get the dust double to go for the interrupt, and all 3 rejuves being taken by Lowkey W and kills on top of this. I mean, okay, Listic deserves a sidekick in the match, at least in this game alone. Like, the amount of hooks he's been hitting has been ridiculous. I mean, he's single-handedly winning fights and creating advantages for him.
At this point, the only reason you wouldn't give it to him is because he's becoming the true carry, you know? Like, the people damage.
He's not the sidekick anymore.
In these fights. Yeah, exactly. He's the hero now. Although Cosmetical maybe has something to say about that. 46k on the pocket. Such a sick utility build here. Like, this Affliction. You get like a Spirit Burn plus Affliction. That alone is like solo killing some of the heroes on the map right now. Like, genuinely. You know, like for Paradox or Sinclair, Mina, who don't really have a ton of tankiness, Affliction and a Spirit Burn is going to be enough to drop you, not to mention all the other threats on Lowkey W. So with 3 rejuves, a potential clean take on the base, a curse now onto Mina. She can't even pop the bats. No Sanguine to be had, no retreat of any kind. Together coming down to this walk here speculatively, but I feel like he's just coming into his own death, Jason.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're going to escape this one. Sancho comes on in to dodge away from the stun and force them back. 3 people, I think, got hit by a tiny little stun there, too, with Affliction. You just have to give this one up. You cannot afford to contest this walk. You can't afford to go down here either, because that's going to be shrines being taken from you with the 3 rejuves. And one thing we haven't touched on yet, Jake, here is like a recent change to the game, too, where you get all of your ability points at 40,000 souls. And we currently have almost every single player on Lowkey W fully unlocking their entire kit now because they're passing that threshold.
Yeah, they're just basically getting capped out on their strength. Still a ton of souls not on the map right now, like 9,000 for Cosmetical. He is not going to go back to buy. He wants these shrines, but it does create an opportunity. Affliction on 5? Saint, okay. And an unstoppable lash out even grabs more into the pit. Those 3 almost certainly going to consume the rejuves. Lowkey W, afflicted across the board. Already have lost the rejuves. Listic looks to be going down as well. Wait. No, okay, surely he does end up finishing that kill, but the shrine still alive. If you're able to hold on to that second shrine, that is a huge victory for Abraham. Still a long way from coming back into this game, but could have easily been the end of the game if Saint doesn't find that, honestly, game-defining Rabbit Hex into Affliction play.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying before about Saint. I'm really enjoying seeing him on more of these like playmakers now compared to like the Kelvins or Rems of the past, though obviously Rem can be a bit of a playmaker here. A gun buff picked up for who? It's funny because we talked about like Zergy so much as he had, you know, like a 2-3k lead in like the first 10 minutes of time. But honestly, most of the talk has been on Listic and Cosmetical now. I mean, Cosmetical on 51,000 souls. Listic at 40k, but these hooks have been just decimating Abraham.
Here's bullet dance.
He might be going down for this actually, because we can see Tio's been able to wrap around behind him.
Oh, a Mist Shining Wonder. Maybe that's a ghost sign here. Lycan Curse pop from Together, but he doesn't want to go too deep. Knows there's a huge damage done against him. It's Cosmetical on slivers of HP. 50k net worth pocket, needs to cape away from this, needs to be perfect on the execute, but the cape is caught on the wall, and they're able to finish him off. Sonya, 90 seconds on the deck, finding that kill. Cosmetical out of the game. This is exactly what the doctor ordered. Abraham's fighting tooth and nail to still have a chance in this game. Earn control, though, is in the hands of Rake, and that's going to really minimize their losses from this kill.
Orbs on cooldown.
Yes, it is 70 more seconds without Cosmetical, but it's hard to see what Abrahams can really do other than maybe grab some jungle in the interim.
I'm starting to get a little bit worried. I think I can hear the belt coming out from Lightbringer here. If somehow Lowkey W throw away this lead, it's obviously still going to be very difficult for Abrahams to get fully back into this game. But little picks like that. How does the egg walk? Does it like roll?
It's just sliding. It's just doing its thing. It's moving. It's grooving.
Jason, do you think Lightbringer is a Drifter fan?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. This man does not own a light in his room. The only thing that lights up his room is his monitor.
We got to check if the Iradomini doesn't have 5 extra damage to him. It's the only way to be sure.
Save the left.
That's a deep cut. It's a deep cut for any Deadlock Reddit enjoyers.
The urn has been dropped.
I remember there used to be some small interactions with that in like a game called League of Legends. There was like one hero who wore sunglasses and this other hero who did like light damage, and that hero that wore sunglasses took less damage than other heroes because he wore sunglasses.
I mean, that just makes sense. It's just like it wouldn't make sense if it didn't work that way. All right, this is a scary moment actually for Lowkey W, right? You probably thought you won the game, right? Coming into that base siege. You probably, like the comms probably started to get crazy. You started, oh, we're up 1-0, guy, we're doing so. And now you got to earn that. You guys, there's going to be one more team fight. Yes, you have a big soul advantage, but at this level of play, man, you can fight your way back from this. I will say crazy tankiness right now from Zergy. He's almost 6K with that Colossus. Same for the Bebop. There are some big dudes on the map here. And they're going to just send it for the Earth Dunk. They're just calling the bluff. You are just not here in time. Abraham's not ready for that hold. And they... Wait, hold on. This could actually be turning into a fight. A swap attempted. It pulls Listic in. Cursed as well. The Paradox finds that one. It's an Afflict onto 3. Do Abrahams want to continue to fight this? They found the first pick, but the counter kills are coming in already. Taz is down. Together, soon to follow. Yes, hits the deck right after him. Zergy now taking over. Stolen Warden being given 0 respect here. And you can see why, man. Zergy is healthy. He is stacked up on this Warden. It's still a 2 for 2, though, which, as things get chaotic, I don't mind your chances on Abraham's. Lowkey W, they do not want to give away a big fight with potentially a lot on the line.
They had to invest so much, though, just to get that initial kill into Listic. And I think that's what maybe worries me. Is doing that, getting 1 kill in the Listic. I mean, yeah, Listic does some good damage, but so does Reg, so does Obikim, so does everyone else on the team. And I think... funny enough, actually, I think Lowkey W maybe get a little bit lucky. Saint wasn't in position for an Affliction there. He actually instead went for the Warden Ultimate, as you pointed out, that last stand. I think an Affliction could have easily given Abrahams a man advantage in that fight, but with mid-boss now up, both teams are extremely hesitant to go for it. If anything, Hoot's going for a 1v1 up against Empty Dreams on the right-hand side. They do both just back away, take a quick pause, and it's confirmed the light is still there in mid lane. The Shining Wonder is not giving up. A singularity.
You need your sunglasses. Yeah. You need your League of Legends sunglasses here if you wanna survive that one. Mid boss spawns. I don't think this is the type of thing. I don't think either team wants to flip. Abrahams knows that they cannot go down in that pit without some kind of opening kills. They will just be open season for Lowkey W to feast on them. And Lowkey W, with the soul advantage they have, they kind of want like an honest, clean fight. But Abrahams have shown there's still some fight left in them, right? Taz on this Paradox always has the potential to kind of bring things back. And I mean, this Arzo has gone a lot of damage on this build. I think he recognizes he needs to bring the damage. He doesn't have the luxury of buying, tons of survivability items. He just needs to play really cleanly, not get caught, and still be able to actually carry. When you're a little bit poor on carry, I think this is absolutely the right strategy. You have to go damage first. Survivability, safety items are just a luxury you can't afford in this game.
Well, he was queuing up Echo Shard, though, which I want to assume was for Dust Devil.
Yeah, I think it actually... Of the items, it's nice because it gives some survivability, but also some aggression potential, right? So it's not like a purely defensive item.
Yeah.
Sometimes we've seen before, you can use it to like lock people down and set up for easier kills for your teammates. Indomitable on pocket, though, is going to really be a great insurance policy this game. It means a lot of those catches from Paradox Lash not going to be such a worry anymore. I mean, the fact that like a few seconds of unstoppable on pocket is more than enough to get you out of a tough scenario.
And I think you're just seeing how hesitant both teams are, realizing the next fight's probably going to determine how this game finishes off. The Tyler Sung coming on in. Doesn't really seem to have connected, unfortunately, but Together gets poked on in back towards Listic. And Together's just going to be out of position now. Real potential for a kill. The next time's going to be canceled out, but they actually get the catch on Listic instead. Obikim's the first to fall here by Sonya's sniper. And Listic is just trying to run, trying to get away from this one, but I don't think you can escape the Lash Man.
Affliction's 2 for 2, still a fight to be had, but Zergy now finally coming alive in this game, beaming down the damage. Lash ends up getting cleaned. And it looks like as things settle, Empty Dreams on Affliction, 1 HP, has to go back to the base. No ability to continue on this fight. It's only the 2 members, Arzo and Taz, standing tall, and even they cannot pass the test. Pocket, too strong. Taz even gets cleaned up as well. And with mid-boss spawned up, Mina desperately tries to look for some sort of a fight, but Lowkey W aren't going to bite. They're going to maybe try to get both the patron drop and the mid-boss at the same time. I think it's risky to drop here. I think you probably should take mid-boss, but maybe they can do both simultaneously as Zergy heads back towards the pit. Drake knows he's incredibly hard to catch with the E-shift and the Italian San. Third bat from Mina, though, is going to ensure she gets out of this one. Got to do the mid before players spawn, but yeah, even with that faster spawn timer, it's not going to be close. It's still a free triple rejuve, and Lowkey W have a relatively clear path to finishing off this game.
Yeah, Jason, am I insane, or is 321,000 souls kind of a big number at 42 minutes?
That's pretty big. That is a pretty damn big number. I mean, look at everyone in Lowkey W. They have 50K or more souls. It's taken a bit of time. What's the kill difference? I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, are they just out farming, or is it all kills that adds up to that difference?
I think it's denying a lot of jungle because they've been on the aggression majority of the time. I think they've been able to steal away a ton of the jungle as well off the back of that. I mean, I think they do have more kills as well. Oh yeah,
and they've got like almost all the urns. I think they gave away one, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, the comeback urn that they didn't bother. They didn't contest. It was like too dangerous to contest. I will say this is going to be a scary moment because yes, you got 5-man afflicted before, but I feel like that's going to be top of mind for Lowkey W. They're coming into this base siege saying, do not group for the stolen affliction, guys. Just let him get 1 or 2. We got rejuves to spare for whoever does get afflicted, as long as it's not, you know, a back-breaking massive stack of your allies.
Seems like they're using Hoot as well to kind of bait them out, try to force the fight, get someone low. Obviously, the sustainability he has with Celeste makes him very, very able to do something like this. And they're trying to group up, actually taking down the patron down to a quarter of HP. They can hear the lash coming on in, immediately backing away to get away from the death slam.
Cosmetical is, by the way, not even in the enemy base. He's just like making sure that they can't steal his ult. First kill already comes in. That slash onto the deck. Sonya out of this fight completely. Sinclair coming in trying to find an ult steal, but can't quite get it. Pocket ensuring that he doesn't give away that ever valuable affliction as the patron starts to drop. The invuln does come in. Defenders are there, but look at him. He's so desperate. He's looking for this pocket. He knows it's probably the only tool that'll be good enough. And Cosmetical's just kiting away from him. They know it's the only way they can win the game. Beautiful control from Lowkey W, and still with the triple rejuve. Already 3 opponents hitting the deck. And finally, Cosmetical joins the fight. A little strategic outplay to close things out. Lowkey W know where their bread is buttered. And some strong fight back from Abrahams, but ultimately, it's the story of our challenger match, right? Lowkey W, mid-game tempo off the back of the haze. This game, Bebop having huge influence on the outcome of the game, some massive hooks, and then Cosmetical once again carrying the day on Pocket. So you can maybe ban some of the heroes out, but you obviously haven't addressed the core issue. Lowkey W, their strat, their read on this meta earns them a dominant game 1.
Jake, can I just say how awesome it is to have you on the cast? Like, how many commentators would have been focused on the objective and the big old health bar on the screen? Jake calling out the details that only the top level players are going to notice. Noobs like me didn't even think that was going to be important. Let's take a look here at our numbers. Lowkey W up 1-0, but who led the way? As we take a look at some of the highlights, I feel like Listic on the Bebop was involved quite a bit throughout this game, and then Zergy at the end game, he must have taken away with the M1 roll.
Yeah, I think Listic in particular had probably the highest skill participation across the board for Lowkey W. The amount of hooks he was hitting gave him such a big lead in this game here. And even Zergy, as you mentioned as well, he actually got involved, you know, fairly early on in some of these positions when it came to the double centers. Eventually got caught out one time on the right-hand side, slightly being baited in by Obi-Kim, but just to continue to farm up. He forced out items, I think in particular, like metal skins on certain heroes on the enemy side, him and Obi-Kim together, that allowed him to continue to excel even further. But yeah, the MVP play, if you're looking beyond the Bebop, I think as Jake pointed out at the very end of that game, was it had to be Cosmetical to just, what's the best way to beat a Sinclair is just not be there, just not give an opportunity to steal away something that could cause you to lose the game.
Yeah, I mean, some of these hooks from Listic, I will say, I'm pretty sure this one's pure luck. I'm pretty sure he's trying to hook the Mina, but he does get the finishes played on Sonya Sniper. Maybe I'm selling him short. Maybe he saw that lash out of the corner of his eye and knew that that was the true target in this fight. It ends up being super impactful that Sonya, it felt like really struggled on the lash to have the influence that you would expect him to have given his farm. Like, Listic was on his case, just making sure he can't really play the game.
Would it make sense to put Echo Shard on a Bebop so he has even more hookage?
I mean, it would be dank, but you can reset your hook as long as you hit it and you grab the uppercut. So a third hook, I would say that's a little bit of overkill. I mean, I think we saw.
And then does that chain if you do it again?
I guess you could even, like, if you're really crazy, you could Echo Shard the uppercut so that you could reset it another time.
This is just coming from a 7 who just maxes his 3 and runs around with his turbocharge all game. Anyway, here's the end game. Walk me through the big moments, Kaplan. Oh, that was
That
great.
was it right there. The affliction onto the patron to finish it off with. I mean, you can see this time though, Cosmetical, 60,000 damage himself. Hoot wasn't quite able to replicate what he did before on the doorman, but I mean, Cosmetical, he was also their big objective pusher. Considering like Zergy doesn't have this capability that he had in the last game. I was pointing this out earlier in the match as well, is they don't really have someone who can push these down quite easily. It came down to Cosmetical to be the one to do so because he does have that cloak to get away, so he's able to create the distance and more importantly just be all around the map. But look at the kill participation out of Listic, 18 kills, 17 assists. That's insane to see for a Bebop.
Absolutely. Joseph, thank you for the raid. Every bit of community donations are appreciated here on this show. As we take a look at the numbers on the other side, Sonya Snipers, 58,000. Soul stands out to me. Jake, what happened for the Abrahams? Where did you want to see numbers higher? Where did they end up lower than expected?
I feel like I just think that the strategy didn't quite come together. You know, I think like we saw in general, the same thing we saw from game one is like Lowkey W are kind of running at you. I think there was that mid-late game fight that was pretty telling where like Arzo and Sonya did really well. They were still pretty farmed. And then we see a fight where neither of them is exactly there at the start of the fight. And the other four just get crumpled. You know, they die in seconds. And then Arzo and Sonya show up to the fight and like everyone's dead. There's nothing left for them to really do in that moment. So it really feels like Lowkey W, the power is so distributed across the team. Like, I mean, Listic is like the lowest damage on the team. And we saw from his POV what a threat he was in those fights. Like, it feels like the way Lowkey W are playing, it's like, how do you battle back into that? You're relying on a couple players to be your cores, and other players are not as threatening on the Abraham's draft. And that means Lowkey W, when they find an opening, they just plow right through you. And I mean, I think this Hayes pick is starting to pose real problems for opponents. Like, this is a character that historically hasn't been successful, and Obikim is making it look OP. Like, the initiations he's getting, the fights he's able to start, the value he's able to get without having a crazy soul count, all incredibly impressive here on the Hayes, and he scales into the late game too. So it's, you know, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Bro, the Phantom Strike on him too. I thought I saw it, but I wasn't sure who had it, because I'm pretty sure he Phantom Striked Sonya out of the air once when they were in the base and forced him into the ground so he couldn't go for a death slam.
Makes sense. You can use those actives while you're in bullet dance, so you just stick on people forever, right?
For the new items as well, is it Indomitable? I see it was ran on Vrake. We also had Cosmetical running it. Who else? There was two.
Looks like Arzo grabbed it too. I think it's a good item.
Is it worthwhile? What is the thought? I'd never get to tier 4 to spend that money anyway. So
it is an ultra late luxury item. It's an item you buy to like cover you from getting initiated on in the ultra late game. But obviously, first you have to be a big enough threat that the enemy always is trying to go for you. So like Cosmetical in this game, right? I actually think this fits really well in this style of heroes, or even for Arzo, he goes it where it's like, look, I have crazy damage. I expect the enemy team to try to catch me off, that I'm their target. It's an item that really makes that much harder to do. Like, you're going to get a chance to react every time. That little bit of unstoppable you get when the enemy tries to CC you, purges off everything. It's like an opportunity to pop your skills and get away.
Does the hook count as a stun? Like,
yes, almost certainly it does, because it does proc reactive. So I would assume it functions exactly the same way.
So does it cleanse the hook then, because you become unstoppable basically, or do you still get?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does hook. It does block the hook. I would be shocked if it didn't.
Somebody who uses the unlimited hook combo, let us know. Does it block the hook? Chat, you guys are awesome. Thank you for being a part of the first third of the show. We're not at the halfway mark. That's coming up because Kaplan, there's still 2 more games of this best of 3, right?
It could be. I don't know. With the way Lowkey W are playing, I think this one might be done in 2. They looked unstoppable. Completely. No chance.
With that said, let's send it to break. Thank you all for being here. Shout out to the players. Shout out to Shopify. And of course, Newegg and Intel. We are setting records tonight, not only in prize money, but also community donations. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the night shift, everybody. I'm your host, Chris Puckett, and you will see me at DreamHack Atlanta. I'll be hosting the Call of Duty League's broadcast there. We've got a lot of games going down at DreamHack, and I've been told there's a chance more night shifters might be making their way down South Kaplan. Are you going to come to America?
Maybe. There might be a chance. There might be a world where myself, maybe Jake, maybe Dan, and maybe ZP might be at DreamHack Atlanta coming up here in just like a week and a half time, and maybe you at home could meet us in person, possibly at the Intel booth.
Yeah, we're bringing it all together.
Jake tattoo? You're giving tattoos, right?
Please don't get a tattoo of my name or my likeness, guys. I don't want that. As a tattoo enjoyer, I just spend your money in some other way, man. Get something better.
Maybe
Maybe on
we'll
your
get
back
night
so you
shift
can't really
tattoos.
see it. Like I got one back here. I can never see that logo unless I bring it up to a camera. It's impossible.
What is it?
Anyway,
He's got the
back to you
MLG
guys.
one. That's a classic. That's an OG MLG tat on Puckett. But yeah, I mean, we're excited. We're going to be there at DreamHack Atlanta. You can check us out in the Intel booth. We're not be able to pull off like the true Deadlock LAN. Obviously, you know, we're trying to build towards that. But at least to have some fun,
On a boat.
meet some people. So if you're in Atlanta, if you're around the area, check out DreamHack, guys. They're always a fun event to be at. Like Puckett said, there's a Call of Duty LAN. I think there's a CS major as well, if I'm not mistaken. So I
Yeah,
think it's going to be.
they're crazy.
They're always epic gaming events, right?
And the last event had the sickest Dota 2 merch of all time. We were in Birmingham, UK, and they had the Pudge the Butcher shop, just gift shop, and all of the stuff was very horrific and zombie-like, and I feel like Graves would love that shit. Anyway, newegg.com/IEM is the place to go to check out that link. You help click on that. That helps us give the sponsors notification that you guys are actually watching the show and you like them, and you're going to help us get more money in the future. But more importantly, you could see Kaplan return from Italy. He's bringing fresh pizza to Atlanta.
No, you guys are talking about like merch and stuff at DreamHack. I'm gonna be walking around with like a Chipotle burrito in one hand, like some Mountain Dew Baja
American
Fresh in the
out.
other.
Super
Something.
size.
I gotta make up for what I've missed, man. It's been a while since I've been back to the
How much ranch
I love
dressing?
that Baja
Ranch dressing
Fresh
on
jumps
everything.
in there. Yeah, shout out to all the people who went to Taco Bell on Cinco de Mayo. I saw you. Let's talk about what's going down, though, in this matchup, Jake, because this is going to be our EU final. It's a best of 3, and it is the biggest money we have seen for the EU players in quite a while. So if you are Abrahams, you're a returning champs, you just cashed the check last week. What's going through your mind? What's the comms going into the draft?
Oh,
Thank you for the 177 gifted subs. Cried like a
Dude.
child is lighting up the donations. Can we
Dude.
find the notes, guys? Can we go into the notes for these big subs? I feel like they deserve some shout outs.
This is crazy, W. W is in the chat, man. Insane support. Insane support. And we hit our sub goal.
You know what that means?
1,200.
That means we have to
We
release
get to
the
feed
Abrams
ZP.
skin.
You know what? I think we need to commission another skin. I feel like we should ask the fans.
CP, where you
like,
at?
We have one in progress.
We have okay.
Oh, it's already in progress. Can we give a hint? Maybe
Is
it's up
that
to
the
you. Say
Puckett
yes or no.
pocket where we put my face on
Honestly,
the
it's a
pocket?
skin that may make people go feral. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
So it's calico.
No. Could be silver.
Could be Billy.
Could also
There's a
could
lot
be
of animal
Billy.
people and Deadlock if you think about it.
Great talent?
Mo and Krill could go feral.
True.
But we have a Mo and Krill.
We have a
skin.
Mo and Krill skin. Obviously, Mo and Krill came
Why not
first.
get more though? Because
Iconic. Maybe we should have a second one. Yeah,
Rema,
true
is
fandom
Rema
of
a
Mo
rat?
Krill.
Is he a bat? What did we decide?
What is?
Rema
Yeah,
could go?
Rem's a
could
cute
go
little
feral.
guy. Yeah.
You won't like him when he's angry.
Could he go feral? I don't know.
Well, we always got more in the works. I mean, the incredible modding work from Ozzy is always awesome to showcase on the show. I know people have been loving the golden egg for Newegg. You know, some of our classic moments on the broadcast is always cool to be able to bring to bear. But we want to do more mods, man. And honestly, with subs like this, like this is exactly the kind of thing as the CFO I'm going to plow more resources into, man. More cool mods, more cool skins,
More cool
bigger
mods.
events, better prize pools. That's what this support all is going right back into. So crying like a child, man. Crazy gifted support
Crazy
today. Like,
support.
341 today from him.
Hey,
or him or her.
Like, yeah,
they are
you don't
perma
need this
VIP
money,
man.
do
Like,
you?
that's major support.
Make sure you're not over supporting. Keep yourself in check. It's not worth the call outs, but we do appreciate you helping us get to a goal 1,200 subs here on twitch.tv. We see you over on YouTube as well. Thank you for all the support. We had Wholesome coming in with $100, and somebody said, damn, Abraham's ready to cash out for $100, Kaplan. Do you see that coming?
They want that second place prize so bad. The $5,000 prize pool.
2,500? Nah,
I
you need
love
the 100. I hope not, man. I want to see Abrams take it to him. I want to see a good contestant, see like a third map in the series and see what we could come into, because I think we were discussing in the break what should be the game plan of Abrahams, and I think ZP and Jake, you guys were talking about Cosmeticals hero pool. Maybe need to focus that in the draft here.
Target the affliction. Maybe just get rid of the pocket. Is that enough, or do you have to actually go for the Mina as well, Jake? What else is in Cosmeticals pool in your eyes?
Yeah, that could be a way of attacking this. I think the pocket has been a big part of the success in the last 2 games. However, like, we saw the doorman in game 1, and Hoot just took things over with that. And like, I think, yeah, that was your first ban. I don't think you want to let the doorman through. Like, you know, you it's not like you have bans to spare here for Abrahams to like deal with all these threats. So it has to be more than one hero. Like, maybe there's a change to target cosmetical, could be nice. The way the vibe check on today's games though is that Lowkey W are like here with a vengeance. They are gunning for that top prize. It's a perfect moment for this team to hit their stride. And Abraham says the bebop is the true issue. I don't completely hate it. They could still first pick the doorman themselves.
Yeah.
If I were Lowkey W, I would ban it away though. I think the doorman is actually too crazy. I think you don't want to let it be in the game, at least if it's on the opposition.
Jake, we got a quick response from the chat. We asked them, what skin do we need? They said we need a Viper with a bigger belly. Her hitbox is too small. Do you agree?
Okay, our mods are not going to change the hitbox, guys. We're not making cheats for you guys. But, or like, in that case, it's like a pay to lose. Like, it's a cheat that makes your model bigger and easier to hit when you play Viper.
Hoot's got his doorman. Sorry to distract Kaplan. I see you're locked in on the drafts. So we got the ban on Bebop, ban on Kelvin. And sorry, so Abraham's with the doorman. Who plays that?
Is that gonna be a task doorman?
Maybe. Lowkey W though, they're gonna see we're gonna see what they can do against doorman. I do think for Listic, he's living very, very good right now. Like, yeah, has a great game on the Bebop, gets banned away, and now he gets to silver. So I don't think he's gonna be worried at all about this. Still staying absolutely in the comfort zone. And I wouldn't be surprised if Lowkey W grabbed the pocket right now. I think that's pretty strong. But they go for the Apollo first. So quietly, I think Vrake did have a huge game last game, right? They didn't have the craziest kill feed, but he's able to like take the aggro and start a lot of these fights in a way that is exactly the style that Lowkey W want.
Jake, I'm thinking about the gank by Vrake right off the bat last game, and you're like, he missed every ability.
Yeah, look,
that's what stands out to me. I was laughing
because he's a good player, right? Like, I'm willing to give him some flack for like one terribly failed game. Just like, you know, it happens to pros too. I think it's good to remember. Deadlock's a pretty hard game, guys. It's okay. It's okay to have some tough moments.
No more hiding.
Wow, it's
and
like a
Abrahams get the pocket too. Oh, all right. I mean, this draft is Abrahams are saying, all right, you win, guys. You have the better draft, but we have insane players too. We can just steal it and run it back against you. A lot of those high prio picks now have gone Abraham's way. Arguably, if you look at the style that Lowkey W are playing, Abrahams are getting the better tools to execute it. So Lowkey W gonna have some questions to answer deeper into this draft.
Empty Dreams was, in my opinion, one of the best pocket players in EU too. So that adds another tool to their kit. I don't think they really had a strong pocket player before he joined the team. I mean, there was like D-Mob and there was like Hoot technically, but I still feel like Empty Dreams on an entirely different level, thinking back to a best of 5 series that he had where pocket won every single time he was picked. But this is going to be crazy. It's a complete reversal, man. Like Celeste, Hoot's not going to have that, or Doorman, and then Cosmetical's not going to have pockets. So the thing is, Shiv is still open. And I'm surprised to see Shiv not being picked up by either.
The Haze Man is crazy work here. I mean, Overkim single-handedly bringing this hero back into the meta, and I don't even disagree with it, especially at the mid phase. Right? So you're not your first ban, but you can almost guarantee it's the pick they would go for. And Abrahams, they thought they could just respond to it. I love the Sinclair response, though. We saw how dangerous those stolen afflictions can be, how they can bring games back from the absolute brink. So quite like that Sinclair pickup from Lowkey W, but it's a very challenging hero to pilot. We saw in that last fight from Cosmetical, like, there are ways to respond strategically to like deny Sinclair the ults he wants, and there's the Shiv.
I cannot find a fault right now with Abraham's lineup. I'm thinking to myself,
this is a Together Shiv, man. Together didn't have the best game last game, but on the Shiv, you'd be a little crazy to bet against the Together Shiv. You look at like historical win rates, it's got to be one of the craziest player hero combos, and it's Puckett's absolute #1 favorite, Lady Geist.
Hey, somebody needs to pick her. Might as well be the losing team.
How many subs, Puckett, for you to do a Lady Geist cosplay?
You know what? I was actually thinking, like, now that I started streaming my games and just showcasing the world how bad I am, I might do like a Lady Geist only day with the community. I don't know how we make that happen, but Jake, would you play with the community and help carry me against ZP and Kaplan?
Send it. I don't know how the duo restrictions work in Deadlock, but if it allows me, I'll play with you.
I mean, I'm undefeated versus Jake. I'm just saying.
That's true.
At the moment.
That's true.
And I got to go
I
out
was
that
thinking,
way, so
you know,
I
in
refuse
Call
to
of
ever play
Duty, we
against
do
them again.
community 8s, where it's like a little bit of talent mixed in with some community members. We do like customs.
That'll be fun. We got to do another game night soon, man. Get some of the community playing with us. I think that's something we've been talking about a lot behind the scenes.
CFO, get a number for us. Once we hit that goal number, is it 1,500 subs? We'll probably be able to do a community game night.
Listen, I'll do that. I'll do that in the snap, man. We get 1,500 subs, community game night, easy. I mean, I gotta be 100% real with you guys. I want to do a community game night regardless, but you know what? Throw the subs on. We will make that happen ASAP. Lowkey W
Prioritized.
have managed to like triple down on their strat, despite a ton of the heroes being stolen. Their hard carry is Viper. So
is it a testament that we might need a new skin, a new mod, Ozzy?
All right, you know what? Viper being the next skin would actually go kind of crazy. I'm kind of here for that. So you know what? Why not? It fits too perfectly.
No, but you
Fits too
can't do Viper because that's not her like model yet. Like it's not a finalized model.
Oh, true. That is true. Viper has like a scuffed model, so yeah, maybe we hold off. We could do like a Lash. Like,
what if we turned all of
stylized
the
as
golden
Viper?
Buddha statues into like Viper eggs, and then you're a dick if you break them?
Well, there's gonna be a lot of broken eggs. I can tell you, I don't think we're gonna do anything to stop the players when it comes to their box maxing. Mo and Krill, though, back into the game. Interesting pickup here. I will say it's potentially a scary hero when you're trying to hit these like heavy ganks.
What team does Saint play for, Jake? The best hands in the game?
It's true. He's one of the best Mo players historically. I think has looked really good on the hero. Shiv and Mo weren't played at all today, so you know, a little bit of what's something old and something successful in the Doorman, Celeste, and Pocket that have looked great today on the Spirit carry role, and then a little bit of something a little bit new with Mo and Krill, right? And Shiv that historically have been successful, but in this current patch we haven't seen as much of. For Lowkey W, though, I was actually talking about this in the break. I think the GT fits really well with their style. It's very different than the Pocket, but if you're able to get the Spirit scaling to really snowball on GT and have those birds be landing early kills and you know, finding those aggressive forced team fights that you've been kind of doing all game long in the last 2 games, GT finds himself rather on like plus 100 Spirit power. That hero is turbo crazy. Like you almost don't want to go. Like that is one of the scariest late game heroes with the most realistic infinite scaling metric. Like Vindicta damage, Drifter damage, you know, they work, but it's sort of a little suspect. But GT with insane Spirit damage is legitimately crazy, and you know, just deletes heroes in the late game.
But Abraham's their mid game. The early mid game is insane. Having a Baroness Hotel from Doorman, having a combo to Mo and Krill, any lane you interact with, especially when you're a Viper, a Grey Talon, a Sinclair, there's really easy kill potential against like 3, maybe even 4 heroes if you want to add an Apollo there if you kill within that combo window. I think Abraham's, if they have a strong start, I don't see how Lowkey W can match up against them, honestly.
Yeah, I think a lot is going to ride on the Lash ults, which frankly, opposition has tried against Lowkey W, didn't work against them, but can Lowkey W turn around for themselves? How do they respond to the Doorman pick that has really burst onto the meta over the last couple of weeks? It's up to game 2 to see how it all plays out. Lowkey W playing with a bit of house cash though. They, you know, it's only game 2. They can lose one and then have a different approach, have priority into the game 3. But given Abraham's pedigree as a team, they're not a squad you want to allow to build momentum and get into a game 3, especially with how much they've adapted already in the draft. This is why this team has been so successful in the past. You can maybe surprise them. You can maybe cheese a quick game out of them. But getting a series off them is a very different ask.
Well, it will indeed be Saint, as you pointed out, Pocket, on the Mo and Krill. Curious if MG Dreams will actually
sidekick Night Shift skin, by the way.
Yeah.
Very stylish with the purple. I feel like it fits so well.
We literally could
get it combined with your Viper incredibly well.
we could literally do this, Jake, at DreamHack. Like I can be the big burly man, you can be the small little dude on my back.
All right. You asked for it, bro. I mean, okay. You want to give me a piggyback ride at DreamHack?
I also have a bad back. So
that's a great idea. It's not my bag.
I hope you're
if you go down like a sack of potatoes, I'm suing you, man.
I'm sue you if I herniate a disc in my back again. Like,
well, we'll sue each other. You're coming to America after all. This is our national pride.
Interesting lane though. Shiv and a Mo and Crew. When you get ultimates online, I think you have free kills in that lane every time. I don't know how you fight that.
Yeah, that is pretty true. The combo threat is very real.
Oh. ZP released the Abram skin. It has been official.
Uh-oh, is it live in the chat? All
It is
right,
live.
hit our
For
sub
people who
goal.
use the Abram skin. The Night Shift Abram skin. We finally hit the 1,200 subs.
I do think that next skin that is coming out, people are going to be really excited when we're able to release some more about that.
ZP Abram skin?
Yes, it's a photorealistic ZP as Abrams. I can't believe you would drop that intel before we're ready to announce it.
This is,
By the way,
this is a little bit deep out together.
But I think he might be in trouble. I mean, he's very confident. Ballistic, I think, has to just heal. Ballistic's coming back. He was doing some boxes. Little parry attempt from Shiv. Nice movement from Together, though, man. He goes that deep behind tower and isn't really punished for it, but Cosmetical holds the line.
Buys time as well for Ballistic to return. He actually didn't even go back to base to heal. He's still low on health, so there is kill potential.
He went greedy. He boxed up, but Together, oh, they're diving that. It's risky. It looks like Together's getting turned on. The 2v1. The heal onto Listic was enough. Cosmetical getting first blood. And talk about a hero to start the game off strong, right? Like getting that ult early for GT is exactly the game plan that Lowkey W want to look for in this one.
It's so funny because I feel like Hoot and Cosmetical both share like a couple of like similar heroes in their pool.
Yeah.
I can look at GT and I'm like, okay, that's definitely could be a Hoot pick because we've seen him so
We've
many
seen him be
times
crazy on it too, yeah.
like 60 plus on his owl in like the first 10 minutes. Like he's put up some stupid numbers on it, but like he can play also the Lash. Like I think Hoot, I still will say this, Hoot is probably the most diverse player in the game right now, with Devon maybe being like a close second, but past those two, I don't think anyone in the game has the hero pool like they have.
Yeah, being able to play the hard carry, the Spirit Nuker, pretty much whatever you ask for. Still, game's pretty even as we got a little bit of early pause lock. Looks like Zergy pretty low. So is Arzo, though. So, bit of a chaotic trade in this early game. Empty Dreams on the pocket, though. We talked about this in the draft. It's another player hero combo you don't want to, take lightly. Abrahams across the board, they really all have comfort picks. And they will be able to find that kill onto Zergy. Caught between a rock and a hard place.
I spend life.
See if GT goes for the reset or just grabs some boxes and comes back to lane. Looks like she is going to get the full heal. Let Pocket get some of that solo souls and maybe get the Affliction online a little earlier. Going to be a lot of important Spirit nuking ultis in this game.
That's what I was picking for Empty Dreams too, to take away the tier 1 camp on that side, because again, that is Lowkey W's strong side. That's their strong lane. A lot of action in middle already, as we've seen a little bit of a grouping together, rotating in to help out, going back towards the left-hand side. And I'm still looking for those ultimates to come online, because I really feel like Lowkey W on this left-hand lane are going to struggle. Any combo will result in a kill. I guess you have to hit like a Spirit Trap to somehow dislodge that.
I will say,
what I learned?
Yeah, Spirit Trap is a good counter to combo, right? Like it's one of the most reliable ways to cancel it. So I think that's going to help the matchup a lot. I also think Shiv isn't necessarily the best hero to follow up on combo. Like, yes, you have to execute, but I feel like the best heroes are ones that have like crazy gun DPS and can just stand there and hit 100% headshots. And Shiv is not really that.
I'm not looking for like a 100-0 combo. I'm looking for more like you poke them down to half HP because of knives, and then all you have to do is just dash,
just combo and finish.
They're dead.
Yeah, exactly. That's fair. That's fair.
I
do think
yesterday.
Go ahead.
I think it was yesterday or the other day. I was watching TikTok and I saw a little video on. I knew you could shoot the Spirit Snares, like the traps from GT with his charge shot and like proc them, but I didn't know you could do that in the air. So if you throw a trap in the air, you can actually like hit a Vindicta who's flying.
Wait, that's crazy. That's some next level tech. Affliction, one man on Zergy. He's getting some real hate into this one.
I see the enemy.
It's gonna make a little bit of space, opportunity to snatch away some of these creeps. Cosmetical, though, goes down. A big dive comes in here. And that's a very nice find, stopping the snowball of a really key hero who wants to get their ult online, wants to get active very early. Nice little tower parry from the Mo. And with Sonya rotating in, Silver, one of the worst heroes at clearing creep waves in the entire game at this phase, needs the support to come in. But Hoot is here, bailing out the lane and protecting the Guardian for now.
I think that was started off, by the way, with the combo. I can see Saint with it on cooldown. Though Together obviously didn't have his killing blow up just yet in Hoot. And we saw the movement alone in prior games. To see him rotating this lane to help out, even going in behind the tower here, trying to catch someone on the retreat, maybe Together to hyperline and get the kill. But I don't know if, honestly, Saint can survive this with a 3-man dive coming on towards them.
Tylosan hits. Is there enough follow-up? Geist does not have the swap online, and Tylosan finds the kill. Empty Dreams does give it right back. Trying to pick up this heal. And with Viper in the hotel, good move from Zergy. Is it going to be enough to block the full damage? Yes, it is, but carded into the wall. Ebola comes out. It slows things down. but ultimately there's not going to be that fall up the finish. Taz rotates in with the gun buff, showing why this Doorman is such a top prio pick, and already a few thousand soul lead has opened up for Abrahams in the early game, a telling sign of how much this draft adaptation has helped them.
You know, ZP, if you're here, can I shoot you a random question?
Sure, what's up?
ZP is here. Okay. In your opinion, because we saw like Viper being banned before against Lowkey W, is Zergy's Viper more of like a last resort pick, or is this something he's actually actively been practicing? I'm assuming you might know because you've been talking to Lightbringer.
I don't have any Zergy specific info there, nor have I seen like Zergy stream that much in the last week. I mean, you go like super historically, it's not something that Zergy has played a ton in Deadlock, and maybe the first time he's played it in like a competitive match. Like I don't ever remember seeing Zergy playing it in comp.
Today. But that's kind of why I'm asking, is because like I feel like he's only shown it today, and he normally would like only play Wraith. But like Mirage was open as well, so I don't know.
Viper's valuation has gone up a lot in comp over the last 2 weeks, so that being the case, it makes sense that Zergy would start adding it into his hero pool, is kind of my estimation.
Stolen combo in mid, it gets the kill onto Saint. Obicam finds that one. Lowkey W trying to fight back, but Empty Dreams onto a 4 streak here in the side lane, putting in some big damage. Zergy wants to fight right back, but Pocket playing around the cover well. Colt Sack even going to be picked up here. So Empty Dreams, even with some strong kills, is gone for a very greedy build. So, you know, I've seen the Pocket late game be pretty much crazy 2 out of 2 games so far today, and it looks like it's not going to stop in the hands of Empty Dreams.
I guess it comes down to like Saint versus Obikim. Can Obikim have the same level of impact with like the early stolen afflictions that Saint had in the prior game? And then will Empty Dreams also place him into cosmetical and avoid actually showing himself to give away that affliction? As the Owl coming on in, I think it's one of the first ones of the game. Looking for connection maybe onto that Mo and Krill as Saint looks to...
He really wants a finish kill with it. It's so important to be able to find. Oh, and he finds it.
There it is.
All right, the first Owl of the game is unironically the most important, because every time you get that spirit power scaling, right, it makes the next one easier to get. So the patience to really wait until he can find that finish kill that the team sets him up for, really smart to this one. Here comes the stolen combo once again. Basically hard countering the Mo. And I think the Obikim is really understanding this well. Like late game, sure, the stolen affliction is always going to be what you're looking for. But at this moment, counter combo, I mean, combo is one of the best things you can do against a Mo who's burrowing, right? Hard stunning him, getting him out of the ground, making him much more vulnerable to your teammates. And you do, by the way, keep that permanent health on Sinclair by getting kills in combo.
I didn't even think about that, actually, that he can get the passive from that. It's pretty damn strong, actually.
It is really nice. Like,
you can do the same thing with like Great Talon Bird, right? With the Owl, you can get like permanent spirit power.
I think I mean, I would imagine it works that way. I know for sure it works on Mo. I believe I've checked that, at least in recent patches. I think it's really nice because Sinclair's a hero who doesn't have good max HP. So where Mo already has a lot of max HP, and you kind of already know you're gonna kind of chop him up with, you know, big shred and big damage. Sinclair's a hero who, with like, hey, a few hundred extra HP is pretty meaningful when you just need like half a second more to be able to teleport away to your assistant.
Yeah, that's a good point. We're seeing some aggression out of Abraham's looking to take this middle tower. The first urn spawned in just under 30 seconds of time. Teaming together, we're going to be teleported onto the right-hand side to join in with the team. There's really nothing that Lowkey W can do about this one as the combo's going to be coming on in, but the bird actually dislodges Saint from actually connecting the combo even further as Hoot gets the slam under the walker. That's going to cost him his life here at Abraham's with this aggression, completely catching out Lowkey W.
Frake caught in the hotel. Does take the smaller amount of damage, and they're not even going to try. They know Apollo has the ways to play his way out of this one. They're just going to head off and look for other kills. Cosmetical grabs a movement buff, which is actually probably the perfect buff to keep him alive, with Abraham's kind of bearing down on him in that moment. But the spirit buff goes to Empty Dreams on Abraham's in the pocket, so great find. Attempted earn grab. Looks like it will make it into the hands of Celeste, so good read from Sonya. And controlling the objective is going to be really nice for them as they look to build up on this lead that they've started.
When it comes to contest, Hoot nowhere near his death slam. I guess you could technically if Euro became Steel and Affliction, but there's, I think, no way he actually maxed out his ultimate just yet, so you're not going to stop the healing that can come through. But I guess the combo would be your ideal target, as you pointed out before. Or maybe just give it up for free. Like, I guess with the presence we have out of ours on the left-hand lane, it's not like Zergy's going to get much anything on this one. There's no way he's going to be able to push a Walker down. And Lowkey W has set up for position around this one, but it's still in the hands of Sonya Sniper, looking to go for the turn-in. At least dislodging it for now.
The bird stalls this in a huge way. I will say this isn't like both teams are kind of splitting their commitment on the map. Neither team is like all inning it. I think it's pretty telling that Sonya doesn't go for the dunk, though. It shows that it's some real respect to Lowkey W's fighting power. It's like, look at Listic and Obikim willing to tango with this one. Pocket, though. Affliction's coming up. He has Spirit Buff online. Gonna have to be pretty worried about this. Combo stolen, but it first comes in onto the Sinclair for the stolen combo. Gives it right back. Affliction, though, comes in, and the damage follow-up is there. Obikim, not long for this world. Earn dunk being considered. Melee attempted. It is successful to knock it out of the hands of this Celeste, but will the fight go their way? It doesn't look like it. Listic in a terrible spot now. Slivers of HP has to run away. Doorman ulti onto Hoot ensures that he's out of the fight already. Follow-up is good for him. Another bird comes in, but still feels like this is Abraham's fight to lose, man. They're in full control. The bird hits 2, but it won't follow up for kills.
Aaron still hasn't been dunked. Theo's able to take down break. It should be going the way of Abraham's now as Tass will look to pick it up. Though Obikim is in the vicinity, steals away the Doorman ultimate, pulls him into the Baroness Hotel, and the egg has been dropped.
But you end up just kind of feeding things away, right? Like, yeah, you okay, the Dormantle actually does kill Taz, so he just snatches the kill away, and the Urn is taking forever to do. So, yeah, you're probably going to get it in, but I feel like the kills are the real prize here. The fact that Abrahams are getting a lot of these trades, although things could go against them. Shiv, surely he gets the dunk. Okay, he does just barely make it in time, but it's a chaotic best of denies here. And Silver with the ult, Viper continuing to force this fight means you don't necessarily want to stick around into this one. Looks like Mo is going to get run down here by the Silver. And the birds just keep coming, man. The cooldown on that is insane. Cosmetical, the uptime is like 100% on this thing.
Feels like it, man. The compressed cooldown. I didn't even see the cooldown on it when he finished it off. It has to be like stupid low, though. I think he had 2 or 3 birds in that fight. Considering he used the first bird to dislodge the Urn from Sonya. And I'm pretty sure we saw 2 more after that.
I will say you really need to get kills with it, right? Like in the end, it's like funny range disruption. It's nice. But if you're not getting the kills and scaling spirit power, this strategy isn't quite working the way you want it to, right? Ultimately, you know, for Cosmetical, like to do what Pocket does in the late game, you really just need farm. So like getting the kills, yeah, it could be nice, but ultimately you don't really care. You're farming creeps, shooting objectives, whatever. You're just getting farm. You're more of a standard scaling hero. With Grey Talon, yes, the farm matters, but I mean, you can see he's maxed the bird. Like, it is an obvious high prio to scale that spirit damage. Warpstone, ooh, scary, but Cosmetical evades it for now. Combo would have been deadly on GT there. Not a hero who can tank that.
I mean, you're definitely seeing the lack of damage on his charge shots, too, considering he did max the ultimate. As you pointed out, trying to build up those stacks. I mean, he's definitely going to hit that power spike when he gets towards Boundless or something like that. Maybe Spirit Burn eventually. It's only at 11k souls, and Zergy's been quietly farming up at 12k, but so's Arza, man. Arza's at 14k. He's been quietly shoving that left lane for the majority of this game, and Empty Dreams sitting on 16. I don't think Empty Dreams has died this match so far.
Yeah, Taz also on the
very beginning.
On the Doorman, it's like souls aren't crazy, but I think what we've learned about this Doorman hero is like you don't really need the farm. Like you are a massive threat in these fights, whether it's like the utility impact, the nuking, the raw gun damage. Like the gun hits pretty hard with this build. Like you don't necessarily need major items more to be an effective fighting force.
God, how many owls has Cosmetical thrown?
I don't know, like
another
10,
one.
like some crazy amount, right?
It felt like 10, man. He hit Sonya this time, and Sonya was like nowhere near low. He was just kind of, you know, keeping him in check, keeping the pressure on, and that's exactly what Abraham's doing. As you can see, very heavily invaded on the enemy side of the map.
Pocket's missing.
The next turn's going to be spotted in here in just a few seconds, and I believe Abraham's going to get both buffs: gun buff for Empty Dreams, movement for Together, and who's just trying to get away from this annoying Celeste who's just chasing him off the rooftops.
Yeah, not the craziest buffs to find, but you definitely feel the pressure here. Bola just barely delays the combo, keeps players alive. Repulse slows things down. Now they're looking for some catches here. GT Bird gonna be coming into this one. The curse hits a Tyler San. Big damage being pumped, and Cosmetical finds the finish on the Saint. Here comes the Death Slam from above, pulling the Doorman into the thick of the fight. Not where this hero wants to find himself, but he doors back to safety for now. Across the map, Empty Dreams is gonna be able to clean up a Walker uncontested. But this could be just the cost of doing business. Lowkey W getting 1 killed, some spirit scaling, and maybe finding more on the cleanup. But they need to find more. They gave up a Walker for this. They will get an advantage earn, which is nice, but you really would have loved to find maybe an extra kill or two in that one.
Thing is, like, who can they even send to fight Empty Dreams anymore? He's on 20k. He got a solo Walker to himself. He just jumped up another 4,000 souls. I don't think anyone can fight Empty Dreams.
Uh-oh, this is a crucial fight. They're gonna go for the earn dunk. Our player's gonna make it there in time. No, not quite. The dunk does come in. It looks like all the souls going to Lowkey W. That's a massive comeback effect. Huge boon for them. Together, just a second slow to be able to stop it. And a stolen affliction onto Mo. Could be an opportunity for a chase down. There's no GT Bird to come in. Looks like Together just barely survived the burst from that.
And that would be like the best case if somehow Obikim's able to set up Cosmetical with an affliction, call out where they're going. Cosmetical cleans it up with the owl and just stacks spirit on spirit on spirit. As it looks like even Saint's going for a Veil Walker next, so really going for the sneaky plays here.
Yeah, I think Together probably only tanked that bird because he's Shiv and he has the bloodletting, reducing some of the damage. Walker is going to go down. Arzo likely going to die for this, but even that's not necessarily assured. Zergy gonna force the fight, knows he needs to get a little bit more done, but maybe he's gonna get turned on. Remember, there's a very farmed pocket here, even with the gun buff as well. And yeah, Zergy just has to turn tail and run. The slide mobility is gonna get him out of trouble, but it's definitely pretty telling about the state of this game that when pocket shows up, you just have to run for the hills. Like Lowkey W are somewhere that I feel like they haven't been all day today, which is on the outside looking in, trying to recover a game where pocket is head and shoulders above the opposition. I mean, he basically has a 6K item over the top player on the opposition.
Damn. And he's going transcendent cooldown too.
Yeah,
so
the affliction uptime is crazy.
That, but also more warp stone uptime, more cold front, more cultists. Like he's
probably the best.
He just snowball ahead.
Probably the best CD using hero in the game, right? He loves buying active items. He loves having his ulti up and being able to like kind of fearlessly throw it on one person. Most of your damage comes from your skills. This is just a crazy spike item for Pocket. You can see why he's prioritized it relatively early in the build as his first tier 4 item. Oh god, the gank squad. Wait, this is crazy.
Yeah. I didn't even think about these combos with the doors. Zergy had no way of knowing this was coming.
That is somewhere they're out, man. They're gone. Like, what do you do about that? I feel like you first ban Doorman next game is what you do about that.
What did they ban again? Was it Kelvin? That was the first ban Kelvin.
They banned Kelvin, which they banned last game too. I just think it was short-sighted. I think they should have seen that the Doorman snipe was coming in. I felt like it was pretty obvious. And I think they maybe just a little bit too much disrespect. They thought they could get away with it and somehow still get the Doorman pick off.
I mean, to be fair, the game's not over just yet, but it is a 14K lead 18 minutes in for Abrahams. If they keep pulling off plays like that, what do you even do? The combo's already halfway off the cooldown now.
And I think Abrahams have the better late game too. It's like Lowkey W still went all in with a very early game draft and they're behind. So this is pretty much the nightmare scenario. Like you can kind of just sit back and Abrahams play this one nice and slow. And I think in a best of 3, it also is like a nice little mental advantage to be able to just chill in the driver's seat and just let Lowkey W kind of sweat and let them kind of feel the pressure of the series, let it build. That is like a momentum changer for the overall series. And $5,000 on the line, man. You better believe, well, overall for the day, I guess EU about 2,500, 2,600 on the line. You better believe that Abrahams are really thinking about the long term into this one.
Oh man, Obikimi's looking for it. You can see him spamming the Baroness Hotel. Still has it up for quite a long time to use, but it doesn't look like they'd be looking for a fight here. Vrake actually might be the one getting called out.
Maybe a catch into Arzo. But hold on, here comes the gank squad. The Cosmetical absolutely swarmed. Everybody pops out through the door. Little clown car action there on the Great Talon. Not going to have to worry about the bird in this particular fight. Little fight breaking out on the other side of the map, though. Arzo's getting ganked, surrounded, hit from all sides. And yeah, 3v1. He is not going to last too long in this one. Stalls? Wait, no way, right? Surely he's dead. Yeah, he is going to get cleaned up. Kind of takes a while, and the rotations are coming in. Empty Dreams is here, wants to be able to claim a bit of some comeback into this one. But these resources committed onto Vrake, maybe they're going to be enough to get the kill. He's kind of running low on skills. Yeah, maybe the rundown's coming in. Just one more knife from Shiv would be enough. And Sanya just gets it done himself.
And the fight still happened on the left-hand side.
Oh, wait, if you get this goes crazy.
It's be a massive kill down for 54 seconds. And the bird, I believe, was the one that got the kill too. Cosmetical be cleaning up from this one. Zergy is hit by the affliction, so he's basically been forced out of the fight here. Obikim continues to push in towards middle. Lowkey W need to survive this fight, and Abrahams are on the charge, getting 2 more kills on this.
Yeah, that's big. The fact that you don't get the earn off it. Yes, you get a very important kill onto Empty Dreams. It's a nice one. But how will the fight continue to progress? Cosmetical still fighting this one. Has now pretty significant amount of spirit power. You got to potentially respect it, although Sanya hasn't been showing too much of that, right? Continuing to play aggressive on the Celeste. Continue to keep those waves push in. You have a player advantage here. You have a soul lead. I mean, why not go to enemy territory? But threat is very significant. The stolen ults from Obikim could be real. He hasn't stolen anything just yet. Zergy, though, getting incredibly low. The bird comes out. You're going to try and maybe knock the urn out of the hands of Moen Krillin, but for now, he's just sitting back, playing this one nice and slow.
I think it's actually probably the best case to be the urn holder for Lowkey W, for it to be on him, not have to worry about the combo necessarily to be the initiate on you. Oh no, they're setting him up with the door, but the thing is, he's gonna drop the urn. They're looking for a kill yet again.
It might be like a way to dunk it or something.
No, I think
I don't
he's baiting
know.
him.
Oh, okay, they're just
him
going for the gank kill. They didn't expect because Mo's showing on the map with the urn, and now Cosmetical combo. The follow-up should be there. Wait, hold on. Okay, he does end up ticking up from Together, but the price is pretty significant. Stolen Affliction onto Taz. Gonna limit his potential. However, it's gonna mean the opportunity is for Together to run this kill down. Does find the kill, and the real Affliction comes down like a ton of bricks here. Onto 3. Lowkey W cannot fight. The urn dunk comes in for Abrahams. It was Abrahams, right? Who got the dunk, I think?
Yeah, Abrams got it. It was finally able to carry the urn on through, and that affliction just lasting so long on the 3 players from Lowkey W. But I will give him credit to be able to turn that around into a kill when Cosmetical Initiative was being comboed on. I didn't necessarily expect to see happen. But at the end of the day, Abraham still walk out more than happy, getting the urn turned in, getting a kill, or getting a couple kills, and they're still sporting a 23k lead.
Yeah, definitely a game in which Abrahams are in the driver's seat to force a decisive game 3 in the series. One where Lowkey W, I mean, they went very early and aggressive. I don't think Abrahams are under any kind of pressure to force an end to the game. And with mid-boss up, right, like, it is a moment where one really bad fight brings the game basically back to even, if not getting Lowkey W back into advantage. They're trying to play off these door combo plays. That's been a working recipe for them so far, starting the fights with a quick combo. Diving onto Pocket, but seems ill-advised this point in the map, right? You want to punish him when he's too deep, but chasing after the Pocket is a recipe for disaster.
Look at that door range you pointed out earlier on in the challenger
It's
match.
like the whole map, man. It's like 60% of the map AoE, and like Saint is just ready. Like you send him in after somebody, Together getting the scout off, setting things up. Affliction comes through, but looks like gone to nothing. Stolen Affliction, it's actually on to 2 this time, so maybe you just have to slip out from the door, maybe back out from this engagement. It does mean that Sonya is in enemy territory, but with Celeste's movement, doesn't seem to be too much of a problem. Empty Dreams re-aggressing the old-fashioned way. When actually, wait, he does find the Affliction? I don't know what happened, man. I've seen 3 Afflictions in this fight. Maybe one of them got canceled or something in the animation.
Yeah, he hit it onto 2, and then the Obikim caught 2 as well. And that's a combo on in the air.
Yeah, that shuts down the Lash. It's going to be rough now. Without Lash, that might just be go sign for the mid boss, right? The Lash ult is probably the thing you're most worried about of anything that allows for a contest. GT doesn't even quite have ult. It is meaningful too. I wonder if there's many counter spells on the side of Abrahams to maybe dodge it out.
Again.
They just want to force the fight though. Like they have enough of a lead where this is Abrahams after all. They're a team that loves these chaotic mid boss fights. Drake getting in, pulling some attention to himself. Still has that Italian Lolsan to play his way out of things, and Abrahams aren't the healthiest, right? The damage they took from the mid-boss actually seems a bit impactful. Obikim put in the Baroness. Plays his way out of it for now.
Oh, he's dead.
But the damage roll was good, man. He is just assassin. Stacked up call bells. Zergy also on slivers of HP. Abrahams just baiting the fight in and absolutely dominating it when Lowkey W come to contest.
They got the big player out of it. No Rapid Hex anymore. No Stolen Affliction. They have to worry about Hoop, but if Lowkey W keep walking in 1 by 1, Abraham's going to keep getting kill by kill. Listic's going to fall. The bird might come in, but it's not going to do anything here. And Abrahams have all 6 players alive to take this mid-boss. Lowkey W with 4 up. Zergy boosting on in. I still don't think they can really contest this. Maybe a big Death Slam comes on through, but you have to somehow take away these rejuves.
2 grabbed all 3, and even the combo adding insult to injury. Lowkey W dropping like flies. It's only Drake left standing, but even he is not long for this world. Full clean team wipe. Even Empty Dream staying alive on the Pocket, and a clean triple rejuve. This kind of slowly developing. I really feel like we're just going to game 3 already. I think this is kind of the last gasp from Lowkey W. Still, there's still a mid-walker here, so it might be a while until you can actually siege and end the game, but I feel like Abrahams have just made the perfect adaptations to win this one, right? Getting the doorman, playing off the Moen Krill in a really intelligent way. It's pretty scary.
Man, I would be punching my desk if I was a Lowkey W. It's bad enough fighting against a Moen Krill combo, but then facilitating the weakest part of Moen Krill is like his mobility in terms of like closing that distance by completely catching off guard, but there's like really no counter because the door gets put down. All of a sudden, hey, there's a Moen Krill and a Shiv right in your face. It has to be so tough to deal with for Lowkey W, and I would agree with you. I don't really think they come back from this 40k lead now for Abrahams. Yeah, like
Phantom
you really
Strike.
can't kill anyone.
That's a scary buy, right? Because it really feels like the only way you win this is like maybe baiting people and then sort of juking their initiation. But with the Doorman door, with the Phantom Strike, lockdown is good. Cosmetical, still healthy though. I mean, this is a pretty hard target. And hold on, some big damage coming in. Ons together, he dashes away, try and grab some heals, but the Bird's gonna be coming in to try and finish this one off. See if he can navigate those tight corridors. Ooh, and they do find it, which I actually don't know if the rejuve kills give permanent spirit power. It might. But it looks like the fight may be continuing to proc here. Listic popped into the Lycan form. Doesn't want to force things too deep. Remember, still triple rejuve, a lot of ults available for Abrahams. They're almost toying with the opposition here.
The thing is, you can't really push out into this either if you're Lowkey W, because you're going to walk directly into an affliction. If anything, the base is going to be your best friend here to at least stay spread out and use the terrain to dodge away from these. And well, you see Saint's not here, but then again, he could be there in a split second. You never know when it comes to these doors. You can see on the minimap again the range that he has with this one, completely covering their entire base. We should at least be seeing a shrine here, especially with Cosmetical being caught by the Baroness Hotel.
5? The only guy who does it is the guy who's in the Baroness Hotel, and Lowkey W fully afflicted. Just have to go back into the base and wait. Cosmetical, without teammates to support him, all caught, afflicted low. They just have to back off and play things slow. Stolen affliction?
It's
It's something.
Wait, no.
Wait, no, I think that was just a Lowkey W affliction. I think he, got absolutely nothing off it. The lash ult comes in, but this doesn't feel like it caught anything meaningful. Still with 2 rejuves available. Abraham swarming over the opposition. Lowkey W, full desperation mode now, and with only 1 shrine left standing, even base guardians getting cleaned up. Abraham's dotting their T's, crossing their I's. But Jason, let's be real, we are going to game 3.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're almost hitting 60k difference right now. Stop check territory for sure. No one can deal with a 39k pocket when the max souls you have on your team is 26k, and it's going to be on a Viper. I mean, game 3, I mean, great to see Abraham's bounce back, and Lowkey W, now they're the ones to make an adaptation go into this next game, and I feel like it almost has to be a Doorman. Actually, well, the thing is, I think they'll choose first pick and leave Doorman up, forcing Abrahams to ban the Doorman instead.
Yeah, Doorman, it feels like the hero of the moment, right? With what Taz can do in a game. And honestly, for Abrahams, it didn't seem like they came in today expecting to play the Doorman. This was like it seems very reactive to what the draft that Lowkey W have having success with. And for sort of a game time adaptation to be this successful is a testament to how hard this team is to beat, to why they are by far our winningest team here in Europe. Looks like they're trying to close out the game here. 1 last rejuve remaining, trying to find the hero kills to go with it. Obakim teleports somehow away. He's deep down the lane though. It's not really where you want to find yourself as the enemy team barrels down on the Archmother, ticking down fast. It is Abrahams here taking game 2, a decisive victory for them, stealing Lowkey W's draft and doing it better. Lowkey W caught flat-footed in this one. It's going to take some serious intervention from the coach to bring things back into game 3 with Abrahams finding the momentum. Lowkey W were the underdogs coming in today, and it feels like they're the underdogs once again.
Monsieur Puckett, are you here? He's not here, and he missed out on the ending, but it doesn't matter. I think that game was over for at least 5 to 10 minutes of time with how it was playing out. I mean, you know what? I never want to see that again. I never want to see a Doorman mode together. Can we like ban certain combos from happening, because that was just absolutely disgusting. And obviously it wasn't just all them too, but the fact that they were to create so many opportunities with these doors into a combo, like what can you even physically do?
Yeah, it really feels like a super sick draft for them. You know, one that they kind of pulled out on the fly, but with the comfort they showed on the heroes, it really worked out. I think getting the pocket was also huge. You know, I think it also feels like a really crucial hero right now. You know, I think the attempt, honestly, I do like the GT, but I feel like they missed so many other key elements of the strategy that have worked so well for them today that GT just couldn't really hit the snowball that they were looking for. Like, too many of these fights weren't able to be closed out for wins. They weren't able to find enough of those kills, period, much less kills with the Great Talon Bird that snowball you.
I mean, every combo that Saint had was, I feel like, hit 100% kill rate. Every time he comboed someone, that target would die within like 1 or 2 seconds of the combo maybe wearing off, as we saw there. To be able to like depend on that, and as I was saying before, this is where Tass actually died by the Baroness Hotel.
R.I.P.
But having like 2 different heroes that can set up kills like that, because you have the Veritas Hotel to set up kills, but then you also have the combo to set up kills, and then also the Doorman can set up combos for even easier time. Like Zergy just got absolutely destroyed, and there's no coming back from that. There's nothing you could have done. He could not have done anything differently except just not farm that jungle camp.
I mean, yeah, it's like, and how could this is like the safest jungle camp on the map, or one of them. So you can't even blame Zergy for this. This is just something you're not going to let through the next draft. I think you're absolutely right, though. We look at the next game. I think this is going to be a first pick prio for Lowkey W. And then you basically have to be on the doorman against it. I think that's the way the meta has developed, at least here on day 1. This looks like the hero of the moment. I'm really curious when we see the stats. Is this going to be Taz top damaging again? I mean, that would be kind of crazy, because I feel like it was a little bit more supporty this game, like dooring in your teammates rather than necessarily playing your own game. But I mean, this build does very real damage on the doorman, and he's able to fight permanently. So yeah, it just feels like perfect for the way this patch is shaping up.
I think that's kind of the difference between like Hoot and Task. Maybe it's similar to the way we see, like, again, Goober play Viscous versus most other Viscous. One's more like damage oriented like Hoot, and one's more support oriented like we saw here with Task on the doorman. I mean, you see just 31k, which is, I mean, he did more damage than everyone else on the team except MT Dreams because of afflictions. So he did do a lot of damage, but it was definitely, it felt like a different style in the way that he was inherently playing the doorman. But then again, different comp calls for different plays.
Yeah, but I mean, I still think that this damage number is really impressive. He's out damaging Shiv and Celeste, right? Who effectively, like Shiv and Celeste, they're like, I nuke you with spirit damage. That is my purpose as a hero. That's really all they do, right? You know, it's simple oversimplification, but basically that's true. And for Doorman, he's doing much. He's seeing you with the card. He's dooring his allies into the fight, and he's still out damaging those heroes. So something with this hero, man. The damage looks pretty crazy. I have a feeling that this is not making it through the first ban for game 3.
I have a feeling next week Doorman might get some tweaks. Or like the nenext patch, he's getting some tweaks to put him more in line, because he's doing, I think, too much damage, honestly, with like what he's
the
supposed
utility
to be.
alone is so good. And then you like, I feel like you would pick this hero even if if you did like 60-70% as much damage. I think he might still be pretty good, especially with something like the Mo combo, which I thought was really smart from Abrahams, right? Having a sick gank squad. Like, normally this is the weakness of Mo, is as you get later into the game, the process of like running up on somebody and comboing them becomes more and more dangerous, and you end up sort of feeding more and more. But with Doorman, that weakness is completely prevented, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, really well done, and great to see as well that Abrahams can also play Doorman in a way that we haven't really seen so far on the night shift. For Lowkey W, I mean, you liked the gray talent. I do wonder what they're going to be going for in this next draft. Obviously, Pocket, another highly contested pick. It's been played every single game so far here in EU in both of our series. I wonder if that's going to continue to remain true going forward. But I also hope that we're not going to see a Kelvin ban, because I would much rather see you ban away a Pocket if you have to, if you're not going to get it as a first pick, than to have to fight against a Kelvin. Like, that's an easy choice in my book.
Yeah, there's a lot of high prio heroes into this one. It's kind of a tough one to call as far as what's going to end up being the priority. I don't envy these pro teams to have to like digest a completely new patch and integrate all these different heroes into your play and still try to play Deadlock at the highest level. But that's what you're called upon to do if you want a share of this prize pool, if you want one of the biggest prize pools we have ever put on here on the night shift. So this is how it is, man. This is esports. Like, you got to be able to bring it down and actually get that win at the end of the day. But of course, the conclusion to this series is coming right after a short break, guys. When we get back, we're going to see who ends up taking home the massive cash prize. Golden Egg has been popped. We are ready to deliver those souls. And who gets them? Well, it's up to the next result of this match. So we'll see you guys in a minute. Don't go anywhere.
It's gonna get freaky.
Welcome back, everybody, to the night shift.
Sorry, I didn't know it was me or you.
No, it's my bad. It's not that. I was typing something in the Discord, so that's on me. But as we get back into this one, Lowkey W versus Abrahams. Abrahams delivering an absolute clapback in game 2. Like, the way the challenger match went, the way game 1 went, we were getting ready to call this for Lowkey W. We were starting to talk about how they're going to spend the prize money. You know, they're going to join us poolside in the Maldives. Like, we were starting to like send them the plane tickets. It was going to get crazy. But instead, Abrahams brought things back in a resounding way. I do think the Doorman's a big part of it. Maybe the Pocket was too, but you can't just put this down only to draft issues. This is Abrahams with their incredible adaptability, what has allowed them to win against many challengers before Lowkey W. For Lowkey W to get this win, it needs to be a rock solid game 3. They need to really find their gumption and bring back the solid performances that we've seen from today, maybe without some of the pieces that they've come to rely on, given that Abrahams has been sniping them away.
I will say this though, the amount of fear you had to have had as a Lowkey W player farming your own jungle wherever it might have been. It could have been jungle in your own base if it ever existed there, and you still wouldn't have felt safe because of the doorman setting up these Mow and Krill combos. And the funniest part was they did that to Zergy farming his tier 3 camp in the warehouse, and they just went to the door and they're out. Like you can't stop that. You can't counter that. There's no counterplay to that other than just not farming the jungle and guessing where Mow and Krill's going to be playing. So honestly, just I think a really well-oiled game plan from Abrahams, and they executed it perfectly. It's all about disrupting that when it comes to this next game. And then, yeah, of course, Lowkey W bounce you back, which I think, like in the past, I'm trying to remember if they've won any like 3 mappers, or if they typically would win like a 2-0, because I think it's very difficult to bounce back into a game 3 here. But obviously with with the Drifter, also known as Lightbringer, there to help coach them along and maybe help them with the draft here, they still easily have a chance.
Yeah, I do think they weren't ready for the draft. I think like I called it out last draft as like, you really should ban the door, man. Like, I don't think you're actually getting it. You know, I think this is going first if you don't ban it, and it did. So I think that's the obvious change. I think they could also take first pick, as you mentioned, and sort of force Abrahams to be the one banning it away. But I think a lot of these other heroes, like the Pocket, the Bebop, are going to be contested. And even the Haze, like you banned it on the mid phase last time. If you really wanted Lowkey W, it might have to go first 3. Is that worth it? It's like, we've seen a really compelling strategy from Lowkey W today, but Abrahams are attacking it from all sides, and this is the nature of competitive play, right? Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face, right? And this is that punch in the face. I think it's up to Lowkey W to really spit out the blood and get back into the fight.
It was very graphic, just like punch in the face. Just
never heard that?
No. I think
I don't think that's exactly how it goes.
Something about like feces on the arm or something like that. I can't remember what it was back when I grew up in Arkansas. Anyways, back into this. It's still gonna go for a Kelvin ban first. I mean, they're first picking, right? So
yeah,
they're
so I think it's
the
different.
Dorman ban.
I wonder why they respect the Kelvin so much. I think it's a little forced, but also I don't care so much what their first ban is when they're picking first, right? Like I think sure, Kelvin, why not? I mean, it is something that we know Saint can play really well. Abrahams, don't let the doorman go through. They know what Taz just did in the last game. They are not going to have that done to them. Now what goes first? This is a major decision point for Lowkey W. I think they should take Pocket. I don't know what you think, Jason.
Pocket, I mean, I like Pocket. I think Pocket's just good in general. I don't think there's really any downside to picking him. But they did do Bebop, I believe it was, in the first game.
Which did tear through the opposition, right? In defense of this pick, right? Like Listic had a huge game. He was like shutting down heroes left, right, and center. Could be an annoying hero if you do pick Pocket into Bebop. Like he's that guy who pulls you in. You know, like the cape can sometimes be relatively predictable to kind of hook him after he capes away. So for me, I'm like, okay, it's not crazy to me. Celeste goes first for Abrahams, which I'm a little surprised about. I wonder what goes second. I feel like it should be Pocket, but we'll see.
It's got to be Pocket, right? There we go.
Yeah, you don't want to let this one through.
I think you're right, though. I mean, I think there is one upside, though. Actually, no, wait. Can the slowing hex stop the satchel?
It does not, is my understanding. It only stops you teleporting to Cloak, but pretty meaningful.
Because that's like one good way to deal with Bebop, at least to buy time, is just that you satchel right after, and then you really can't follow up with that on anything. Something we talked about before, and like I think it was like the first game of the day.
Yeah, I feel like for these teams though, it's less about Bebop's follow up than more about like your whole team is standing next to Bebop and like everybody dumps everything on the guy who gets hooked in. And Lowkey W, we talked about it, they're not getting this haze in the second phase, so they grab it in the first. I feel like Obakim has shown that it's actually worthwhile, and I think his build is pretty fantastic into Celeste and Pocket because he goes for this like hyper aggressive ulti build. These are not tanky heroes. Like you have the lockdown from Bebop. Even Apollo is not too bad with a riposte like stunning people, delaying them for a second. The damage is going to come through in a major way. Although I think Ivy is a cool response because Stone Form is one of the most reliable, safe ways to cancel the Hazel.
Yeah, I was actually wondering like why was it last game Lowkey W banned away Ivy as their second ban. But yeah, I completely see that. Also, I feel like you can fly someone that gets hooked like away too. So
yeah, you can grab them away. Escape. Yeah, I think that backup escape could prove to be pretty valuable when Haze starts off with a gank, kind of pull somebody out of there, re-engage onto them. Shiv gets taken away this time. But honestly, I just look at this draft so far and I'm like, Lowkey W are getting some of the valuable tools that were denied to them last game, which I like. But Celeste and Pocket seem like two of the biggest sort of global theoretical winners from this patch. Like just spirit carrying being more important, late game gun scaling not being quite so good. And they even get a silver as the force pick, which is kind of it's crazy to be able to get silver this late into the draft.
You know, I think I would have liked to see Mirage instead of Celeste. I feel like Mirage.
Yeah, I think Lowkey W should get the Mirage here, and they do.
Yeah.
Oh, that I think like the Viper. I like the kind of gambit of like, let's do something a little weird. Let's try to stay the super high pace. But I feel like what we saw in that qualifying match where, you know, the rest of the team can perma fight and then Mirage is like, he's securing that late game for you. I think his matchup into Pocket is really nice because he does huge spirit nuking damage that can really mess Pocket up. While Pocket's, he's dancing, he's throwing his skills. Like Mirage is going to hit bullets on you. Eventually, those stacks tick up and you know, could be in a real trouble on Pocket. And they even go, I think this is going to be a wall breaker Victor, like running it down on walkers, which I kind of like. I kind of like that against Celeste and Pocket.
Do you need it though when you have Mirage?
I don't think Mirage will take walkers when he gets like a clean side wave push off and the enemy's distracted. But Victor is like forcing walker pushes, which I don't think that Mirage can do. And they still go Mo and Krill. Pretty interesting. It's another good way to punish potentially the Haze, right? And like stopping her ulti, turning fights around on her. Interesting choice, but without the benefit of the doorman in this game. So this is more of like a normal Mo. This is not the tag team Mo. And they still go Viper, but I actually like the Viper way more when Viper isn't expected to be the hard carry late game. Like that, I think when Viper can just like go to fights more fearlessly, somebody else's job is clearing the side waves and like farming the jungle. This I feel way better about Viper. I still think this hero has a lot of tempo from a more farmed gun roll, and also a hero of, hey, you leave her alone in the side lane, your walker is dead, man. This hero has crazy walker push when she's able to just free fire.
Who's gonna be on the Mirage then?
It's gotta be Zergy Mirage. I think surely it's Zergy Mirage. I don't think Zergy plays Viper this game. Like, your hard carry is on Mirage, and I think that's gonna be Zergy. And Viper is gonna be a much more of a fighting, active role, at least given how they've played so far today. I think Viper is probably the second side laner, but usually one of the side laners is gonna fight more than the other, and I think pretty clearly Viper in my eyes this game.
And who's Cosmetical on? I'm like so
Wouldn't be surprised
like,
if he's the Viper. I think he might be the Viper. It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would kind of make sense. Then Hoot would be on like the Victor here.
Yeah,
this is interesting.
Could be Cosmetical Victor and Hoot on the Viper. Yeah, I agree. It's a little bit hard to call. I guess those are the two who are kind of up in the air. Assuming Listic plays the Bebop again, that he played so well. Feels like Obikim has to be the Haze. I don't think you have your whole team grinding Haze. This is like one guy is specializing in it, kind of a strat. And then Vrake, you know, he's been on Apollo all day. Should be a no-brainer.
Well, it's gonna be interesting to see, man. We're going into a game 3 over here in EU to see who wins our record-breaking prize pool in our night shift after 37 of them. We have $2.5 grand for each region, totaling $5K, all coming in from Shopify, Intel, and Newegg. I'm so excited to see Intel and Newegg join us. It's been a while since we've had Intel on the show here, Jake. And not to mention, at DreamHack Atlanta coming up next weekend, there's a chance you can meet myself, you can meet Jake, you can meet Dan, you can meet ZP, and maybe Puckett can stop by as well. We'll be over at the Intel booth. And maybe, just maybe, we'll have some night shift merch, though I'm not going to commit to it.
Yeah, we're getting the event set up, but if you guys are in the area, if you're going to go to DreamHack Atlanta, come say hi. We'd love to see you guys in the Intel booth. Shout out Intel for getting us out there and getting us the opportunity to do some cool stuff. It's going to be more of like a fan-centric event style rather than, you know, the sort of esports we do here on the typical Wednesday night shifts. But still, it's going to be a lot of fun, always fun to hang out at gaming events and meet people, meet the community. So definitely looking forward to that one, Jason. And I'm also looking forward to game 3. Who's going to be our EU champion? This is one of the best weeks we've seen from Lowkey W, but needs to be better if they want to take home the cash. And it's a bit of a burger box in the side lane. It might be EU, but the burgers are on the grill. Together gets kind of smoked in that early trade.
It's a Hoot bot, by the way, and a Listic Victor.
Ooh.
So even some changes coming in.
Okay.
And Cosmetical Mirage. Okay.
Okay, I have no idea what to think now. I mean, Cosmetical's sick in the late game. Maybe Zergy's practiced more Viper and is going to play more tempo. I guess I do trust Cosmetical, actually, to be able to handle the high farm role, right? He did that on Pocket. Different type of character on Mirage, but in some ways, not too much different, right?
And some people in chat were saying that Zergy also has been playing a lot of Viper when it comes to scrims. So as I was bringing up that question earlier on, it's definitely something they've been practicing. And I mean, I assumed you're not going to just bring it out randomly with $2,500 on the line here in this best of 3. Yeah, like Hoot on Bebop. I mean, we saw Listic. I don't know how you top Listic's performance, but we can't forget about the fact that the first time we saw Hoot was playing with Maidong, like way back in the day in Fight Night, and he had some of the craziest hooks we saw.
I mean, it's Hoot we're talking about, right? Like, I trust this guy, whatever he picks. I don't care what it is. I feel like this guy's going to be able to play it. I mean, that's been the flexibility. That's been his history. Listic does die on the Victor, though. I mean, a hero that pre-ultimate, right, is not actually that tanky, right? Is like deceptively easy to turn things around on and kill him off. But he's also a hero who really wants to snowball the farm. So those early kills add up against him. It's a really nice find for Together and Saint. They were getting kind of bullied on the early trades. Now they find a kill for themselves. Shout out Froggy. 20 viewer raid. Welcome, Froggy viewers.
I see the enemy.
I'm still so confused slightly about the Ivy, though. I understand its premise. I understand what it's supposed to do in this comp, and I understand what it can do in this comp. I feel like such a weird hero for what we know TAS to play on, for the most part, across his career now. I mean, it's basically like 2-year career within Deadlock. But with some heavy presence and heavy pressure at Lowkey on this right-hand side, with Break and Listic paired together. I mean, that is a lot of damage you get in close proximity of them, but to be fair, Taylor's doing a pretty good job of it. As we do see Break get stuck in a tree.
Oh,
he gets a parry on the retreat.
I thought the movement was a little sloppy there, but it turns out he's just baiting the parry out. Together, still wants to push the pace, still wants to fight. Listic getting some trades off, and oh, even another parry. Insult to injury. Zergy roams in, picks up an instant double. One of the most profitable roams we've seen in quite some time here on the night shift. And that is going to be a nice one for the Goon King himself. Rusted Barrel going to slow things down for Listic, but he's just headed back to the shop, man. He's got souls to spend.
Just imagine Zergy with a crown now. And it kind of fits him perfectly. I can actually see it at land just wearing a crown called the Goon King on top of it. Yeah, the roam works out well. A hook comes in, catches out TAS. I mean, the backup's going to be Zergy once again. The Stormform comes in. Lethal Venom comes on in, but I think a little bit too much HP for TAS to even reimagine converting that into a kill. And even Rusted Bear, I think Rusted Bear is actually a pretty good pickup here for TAS, considering what he's against. It works so well on Obi-Kim, Cosmetical, Hoot, Zergy, Listic, like all around really good item.
Been bought a lot today, like more than we've seen in some of the recent past. Some trades coming in. You're trying to dive in onto the Apollo, but he grabs a quick heal out of that one, and the dive ends up looking a little bit ill-advised. Corbo, thanks, Sean. Shout out to the Prime. We had crazy subs today, by the way. I mean, huge, insane donos from Cried Like a Baby. Drops record-breaking, easily gifted on the night shift, but just tons of primes coming in from everybody. Huge shout out to the community. More attempts coming in, man. Together, playing with this HP, absolutely using it. And with him and Mo together, man, these are two guys pretty tough to hold off when they really want to dive you under tower.
Especially when those ultimates come online again, like the Bola after a combo. I'm so sorry if you can hear it panting right now. My dog is right next to me, just panting into the microphone. But like a Bola after a combo, you're just really not escaping if you don't have the damage for the upfront burst. But I feel like you kind of do in this lane. Honestly, that's one of the biggest threats about a Mo and Crow when you play them in the laning phase. When that combo comes online, you know they're going to be looking for kills. And those kills come thick and fast.
Yeah, double prio here for Lowkey W as they look to grab the double earn. A nice sleep sets up things really cleanly from Obikim. Gun buff is grabbed from Sonya, but is he going to be able to live to tell the tale to escape with it? The lethal venom gets him down to almost no HP, and Zergy cleans it up. Even with a nice juke from Sonya, it's not enough. Obikim, though, goes down in the trade. Now they're trying to dive in. Victor doesn't quite have the souls for that rejuvenation to come back up. Mo trying to stick on him and finish off this kill. You'd love to be able to find the Victor again in the early game. Clean moves from Listic, but it's not enough to get away from Together with some sharp aim. And a combo as well. Even gets that ultimate online in the Chaos. Repulse delays things, but ultimately, Together's going to find that kill. A double on this side of the map, and now potentially a tower to take behind it.
And a really good bounce back here after Zergy's domination in the beginning, though Zergy's still going to be on 4K souls, right? Well, he's dead now. He's still going to be on 4K souls, but he's back to base here. So Abrahams have had a big bounce back, and you know, one thing we can't forget about is way back in the day, I mean, obviously, I think it was just Together and TAS out of this composition. Abraham's, the original squad, was one of the few teams that could contest against Buff and Drawers back then when it came to laning phase, but they really struggled when it came to later stages, and I think they're continuing that identity within the team here. Timeless Sun comes on through, gets Together very low on health, but Lycan Curse helping to give him that buffer he needed to survive it.
Yeah, it delays things for a while. Listic also gets low. It is going to force him back for a heal, but the Lycan Curse is such a low cooldown ultimate. You're always happy to trade that one for one against just about anything. More trades coming off in this side lane. Victor does have the ultimate online. The lead is still very minor, very manageable at this phase.
Hey, this is why the patrons
And Lowkey W with, I think, a much more comfortable playable draft. Although Zergy caught has to bola just to get out of here. Silver, terrifying hero when she shows up on the roams, man. These bolas are incredible. Can't quite get the damage in, even with a little bit of CC. Zergy slips away to safety.
Lowkey W are being the aggressor this time across the map. Left and right lane both shoved in towards the Guardian. Let's open up a potential rotate out of Zergy to actually look for a kill like we saw prior.
Oh, Zibnock. Is he going to dive that? Surely not. That's a little bit crazy. Oh, he's thinking he wants to get the second one. That would be so devious, but let's take too smart for that one. Price, though, is going to be the Guardian. Full HP Silver. You don't want to tango with that. Victor, even with the ulti, feels like throwing good money after bad. Trade attempted to come in, but Pocket has something to think about it. Empty Dream still fighting this one. Gets a nice big burst onto Obakim. Still relatively healthy, though, on Hayes. Might still look for more. Geist was swapped, though, also. Potential threat. Mo's coming in from behind. You got to watch out. They're maybe being ganked on this. I don't know if they see this one coming. Mo slips in. The sleep, though. Wow. Make sure instant, just 180. Locks that guy down. Ensures Obakim can play this fight comfortably.
I'd imagine if you don't hit that sleep dagger, you're looking at a death.
Uh-oh.
Almost like
Dreams?
guaranteed.
A little DC, a little pause lock.
Wouldn't be EU without pauses and without disconnects.
This game's been chaotic, man. It's like, everybody slow down. Let's, grab a water, chill, enjoy yourself, Like life is short. Take some time for yourself, chat.
I'm just thinking about the NA portion of the show because we have Burb the Clock finally making it back through, getting through the qualifier. I believe FPS Lounge, they dropped Erebus, so they decided to sit out playing in the qualifier match this week. But to see Burb the Clock, and first time in a very long time, is going to be great to see. And then also see Floormen defending their title in a crazy one-sided series last week.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. NA has incredible stakes. We're not even halfway through the show just yet. Record-breaking prize pool if you're just joining us, guys. Newegg and Intel have joined on to sponsor the show, so we've doubled the prize pool this week to 5,000 alongside the partnership from Shopify. So biggest historical prize pool yet, and a beautiful hook from Hoot onto a character you'd love to be able to find kills on in the early game. Sonya tends to have great late games, but shutting him down in the mid game is exactly how you can prevent that kind of an outcome. So Hoot, nice find for him, and has more than 3,000 souls to spend. So a big win for Bebop. High prio pick in this draft. Obakim trying to juke, trying to stay alive, and ultimately Empty Dreams runs him down. Yeah, without the HP to play his way out of it.
Zergy's on in, though. Lethal Venom's going to do a good chunk of damage. Down to 300 HP. Combo comes in on a Zergy. They're going to turn this one around. Petrifying Bow thrown in on top of the Mo to dislodge him and keep him away from him. And Cosmetical's still going to get the kill with the Jin's Mark on Empty Dreams. Good little Petrifying Bow there out of Zergy to kind of give them a chance in that fight.
Yeah, it's a lot of chaos. Together really has been bullying Listic in this side lane, like really punishing the Victor pick. Silver been really dominating in the frontliner role. Hayes trying to turn this one around, but like every time one of these spells come off cooldown, it's a lot of burst.
That's a great plan.
And now with full skill, she's kind of hesitant to run this one down, although Hoot's coming in to secure this one. Daddy's here, looking for the finish. Does miss a hook. Well, the burst is pretty massive on Obakim, but this little HP remaining. Surely he's caught dead to rights, although, hold on. Pocket's here to try and mess with this one, and Hoot just kind of ignores the pocket, walks past him, gets the kill, and onto the lane.
A little bit of skeet shooting there, taking down Silver in the air. I will say this, Vrake, thinking back to like Obakim on Apollo, I feel like I don't want to like trash talk Vrake at all, but I feel like Obakim's had a stronger Apollo in the past. Whether that's just due to opponents, maybe I'm just not seeing what Vrake's like really providing for the team, but I've just not seen that same level of impact on Apollo in these games. I don't know if that's just maybe the role he's supposed to be playing.
Yeah, it does feel like, it feels like with this draft from Lowkey W, the Apollo ends up holding a lot of aggro and being responsible for a lot of that, like, first off initiation, with players like Obakim actually following up and dealing the damage. So I feel like they're kind of, readjusting maybe the priorities. Hold on, wait, Zergy finds Arzo? How does that happen? Guy's not getting the swamp off. Okay, the curse denies the follow-up. Urn is being run. It's not going to be contested, but the fight is going to be contested on this side of the map. Together goes very deep. Can't quite get the last hit onto Zergy. Together needs to find the proc on this ulti. Just maybe like one more shot to be able to do so. Combo is in onto Listic alongside an Affliction on the other side of the map. Looks like that might create enough space for the Urn Dunk to come in. Empty Dreams evades the laser. Some of the souls denied from Hoot, getting a little bit of that. And hold on, maybe Ivy caught in a rough spot without the stone form. definitely a possibility to find this one, but with Mo coming into support, he just has to head for the hills.
It feels like almost every time we go together, he's like
He's just killing.
kill.
He's just killing. Every time we're on his POV, he is killing somebody. And it's cosmetical of all players, right? Like the Mirage is a really high impact kill this game. I mean, 10K soul lead 11 minutes. It's not quite, it's 8K, but still pretty meaningful. Empty Dreams has this Colt Sack online, so he's gonna snowball some of the farming, although Vrake would love to be able to run this down. That would be an impact kill to find at this moment. Doesn't want to take the pad, knows he would just get knocked down and die from it. Has to be some clean movement to evade it. Breaks on the case. Bullet Dance from Obikim hasn't found anything just yet, and eventually the disengaging sigil does close out on them. Together goes down 2. Hold on, Lowkey W, maybe finding the team fight they've been hoping for. 2-1 so far in the trade.
Could be a Walker on the right-hand side of Abraham's, taking advantage of the skirmish on the left side jungle. I feel like you almost just commit for this. Yeah, with Mo and Geist there, you just go for the kill, even if you're going to lose some lives. Lowkey W reinforcing this one with Cosmetical and Listic. There's just no stopping this Walker from going down.
Oh,
okay.
Maybe Geist doesn't commit for it. Geist tries to get out. But
Why?
if you get caught here, it's actually worst case scenario, right? If you end up getting the kill and not getting the Walker. He goes for the greedy play, arguably to leave. I think going for the Walker. Oh, wait, hold on. He's trying to loop back in, maybe? Juking away for now. He has swap. Listic's trying to tank that on himself on Victor. Obikim's got to be careful. Doesn't want to give a swap back. And, oh, actually, maybe Arja just knows even with the full swap, it wouldn't be enough. So, better player than me. I would have gone for it. Lycan Curse
I would have
popped,
gone for it too, though. Because Zergy's stalled.
Yeah, Zergy already just running away. But even he can't get away. The slows are just too brutal.
I feel like if you stalled over there, you would have delayed the rotate back in towards middle, and you could have maybe gotten the mid Walker instead. If you do go for the swap out of Arzo.
Yeah, well, holds on to the ult for another day. We'll see if he ends up getting more value with it. Ligato for it ends up being wasted. Together, trying to get an opportunity here, but without Lycan Curse, could actually be a potential kill. Some nice movement, but slips up a little bit there. Can't quite make it to the high ground. And this Victor build is insane at chasing players down. The slow is really incredible on this one. Together almost drops the reanimation from Victor, but Listic holds on to it, which will be quite nice. I mean, talk about Victor as like this wall breaker hero, throwing him at walkers, but actually can also still scale well into the late game.
Empty Dreams is cutting the wave on the right-hand side. Takes it down behind the walkers. So there's no reinforcements to continue to push up toward Cosmetical here.
Oof. Mo and
also
Krill being
scary.
floated in by Ivy is scary. And oh, the sleep misses. Out of the air, grabs the combo to Cosmetical. Is the damage fall going to be there? Beautiful Stoneform to follow up with that stun. Obikim's here with the ultimate. Cosmetical, just a sliver of HP, but looks like he's out of this one, and 2 quick kills on the punish. It's a good thought from Abrahams, but it does not come together. Although, hold on, Arzo. Kobe's in a kill from range. That makes it almost worth it now. That Cosmetical kill so valuable.
I want to ask you a question, but I want to finish this one before it goes down. Swap had been used by Arzo. Go for the chase. Almost takes down Hoot here, but a great sleep dagger once again. Allows Hoot to escape here around the corner. And now actually Saint wants to commit for this one. He's just going to go for the full-on dive here, but with now Listic on the Victor, able to join the fight. He has to run away from this one. Now Arzo's going to get caught by Cosmetical. And I think that's Zergy over there in a 2-1-2 fight.
Yeah, running away from the Victor is pretty rough on Mo and Krill. He's just going to get slowly run down and bled out. Doesn't have the slowing bolts, actually, which is the build I've seen on Victor, but just incredibly hard to fight when you're getting slowed down by that aura of suffering. Look at that maxed ultimate metal skin. Like, this Victor is a tank. Like, the last few trades, early game Listic got punished. He really didn't get the start you would want on Victor, and these couple fights going his way have brought him right back into the game, onto a kill streak now.
What's scarier to you? A doorman with a Mo who just like comes out of the closet and grabs you? Or a flying Mo and Krill with an Ivy?
Easily the Doorman, man, because Doorman just pops out with a nuke and also takes 2/3 your HP off, right? Follows up on the kill. Doorman also brings the clown car. Ivy brings 1 person. Doorman brings like 3 guys all waiting on the door, which is crazy. Hook onto together, but it looks like the Ivy save pulls him out. Now they're just going to re-engage. Already had done enough damage. Hoot now trying to slip away, but has no chance to get out of this one. Listic looks to be losing that reanimation, although hold on, a missed bite, and Listic would love to be able to get out of here, would love to be able to hold on to that ultimate, live another day, and looks like he can. Sleep onto together, punishes the kite out, but he wakes up just in time to kill the Zergy on the retreat.
Yeah, this is looking... I mean, it's looking really rough, but the souls don't really tell the story of it. It's only a 7k difference, but it feels like it's been going all the way of Abraham's here. Finally, that Walker on the right-hand side goes down as we saw the 2 men push out of Arzo and Saint coming to fruition here. That's 2 walkers now down. The lead extending back to 10k. And we're still, I mean, we still have an urn in play in the hands of, I believe that's Together to pick it up. Actually, no, where did it go?
Looks like he's being held hostage behind Walker. So Listic holding it down. They're going to go for the dunk. This would be a moment to kind of bring the comeback in. There's a couple players not quite here. So player advantage for Lowkey W. Can they capitalize successfully? Hook onto Sanya. Pulls him in. Bullet dance from Obikin. Following up with a lot of damage. Italo-san, can it get a good connection? Only under 1 for now. The Affliction, though, also only under 1. It's onto Listic, one of the weakest targets for that skill. Abraham's players dropping low, but the first kill is onto Obikin. Now a chase down from the pocket. Who looks to get active. Looks to bring his net worth to bear in this fight. Who? Normally aggressive, but this time on the receiving end. 2 for 1, 2 for 2, I should say, rather, so far in the fight. So still a lot to play for. Listic with that reanimation online. Can still fight this one out. Abrahams, everybody's here now. The entire lobby brawling this one out. Swap is out. Cosmetical's down from the combo as well. Listic, Zergy, and Vrake have to hold their nerve here and try and fight this one out. But there's no second life for the victor. Abraham starting to maybe overwhelm, but this time it's Vrake. He's been ignored for the most part in this fight, finally getting these skills popped. Going to continue to stay in on the engage. These Spirit Nukes starting to bite on some low players from Abrahams. The Spawner's going to be coming back into this one too. Zergy also has withstood the test of time, and is going to be able to run down this Geist more than likely.
Oh man, Vrake has been doing such a great job. I have to take back everything I said before. The staying power out of him, allowing Zergy to alleviate some of the pressure of the focus on him. Vrake hadn't been one of the most, the biggest damage dealers in this skirmish, and the urn, it's still down. It's still available to be picked up here. Hoot's going to be joining the fight once again. He definitely wants to pick up this urn, as it's going to be Sonic Sniper just constantly being annoying in his face. And Together back in that Lycan curse. Hyper Beam on the high ground.
He's kind of struggling to stick on top of the Bebop.
He's keeping his distance away from Together, but the urn finally gets dunked in. It's actually going Lowkey W's way.
Okay, insane fight, knockdown, drag out. I have zero idea what the actual kill score was, but I know that for Lowkey W to be in the net worth disadvantage, they are going to feel good about that fight, right? Like all those kill trades tend to favor the team that's behind, and getting the urn dunk on top of it is the piece de la resistance, right? It really secures the victory in the fight. So for Abrahams, it's a bit of a reality check, right? Game 3 going to be more contested than game 2, and that fight proves it.
Let's see where we're at here. Metal Skin, we've had that before for Listic. Sup Stam for Zergy. I think that's definitely one of the factors that allow him to escape that fight with intensifying rounds and burst fire for the extra sliding speed. And Hoot went up to Fortitude. So again, he's going to be just hopping in and out of fights looking for hooks with the Dispel Magic. And Obi came with a Warp Stone. I mean, that's pretty common. We're going to see from what we've had before on his side. I mean, like the real farm, it's Vrake, 20k. Zergy at 17, Cosmetical at 19. One thing I do worry about Abrahams is they don't really have like a solid M1 carry for late game. I know, like, obviously Celeste can do a lot of damage with M1. Even Pocket can technically do that, but they don't have
Geist,
I mean,
right?
It's Arzo, but
yeah, it is Geist, but I think I agree with what you're saying, which is like ultra late. I don't love Geist Prospect because I think when you want to compare pound for pound late game gun carrying, Lowkey W has like 4 heroes that are going to scale pretty effectively. And then I do think Victor is a very annoying hero to play Geist against because, yeah, you get the swap, and Victor just soaks it with his ult. It trades 1 for 1, and then like he's that guy who doesn't care about getting swapped. Even, hey, you get him low, he might be able to just like heal his way out of that. He's used to being low HP and running you down. So
yeah,
potentially some tough matchups. I think a lot rides on Pocket and Celeste. Can they truly carry the late game? This game is going to be, I think, a big bellwether of that. Arguably, that's the way the patch has been leaning, that these Spirit carries can, in fact, you know, carry the day and can go toe-to-toe in the late game with Gun. But we're going to kind of see here in the night shift, right? This is the opportunity for the best players in the world to show their stuff. Hook goes wide. Mo dove in here, trying to find a combo catch on top. Looks like he's looking for Hoot on the Bebop, but Hoot with some good moves, going to deny any kind of instant follow-up. Obikin with the bullet dance, put down quite a bit of damage. Things are chaotic here up on the roof. Affliction onto 2. Vrake getting fully focused down, and they know where their bread is buttered. The Apollo's not going to be living through this fight, although neither will Sanya. And as Listic comes back up off the reanimation, Empty Dreams gets low. Still anybody's game in this fight. 2 and 2 off the deck on both sides. Looks like Listic next to fall, but an urn being pulled away by Obikin might make this well worth the exchange.
it's a great combo too out of Saint. He actually interrupts Vrake's a tiny little stun, I believe that was, and it allows him to completely burst him down so he stops being that annoying mosquito in your room late at night when you're trying to sleep. But with the urn in the hands of Obikin, I mean, going into this one, there's no ultimates up for really either team, making it very difficult to actually confirm this dunk. I mean, you're down only 6k. You get a big wave shot on the left-hand side, eventually going to be cleaned up on. This is where I want to say, like, if you're Cosmetical and Lowkey W, just let him push the left-hand side, try to feint the urn turn in. If you see Mo and Krill's not there, I mean, that also takes a lot of pressure off Zergy, who's been a big impact player in these skirmishes.
Mo is 1v1ing Mirage. Pocket's going to come into this one. That means numbers advantage on this side of the map, and it's going to be reflected in an instant dunk. Zero hesitation from Listic. 10 seconds on the ultimate is going to back off the fight for now. Wait for that next skill to come online. Bullet Dance being, for the most part, evaded by Abrahams, as they might be able to pick up the kills into this one. Hayes looking to be going down first. Yes, Together finds that one onto Obakim. Listic, though, playing in the rooms against Together, who struggled to get the Lycan first pop. It does come out now. Will they be able to burst it down or really be able to heal through it? Kill comes in, but it's just onto Listic with the reanimation. And now hooked back into the stun. Beautiful combo. 2-for-1 kill credit on the map. Lowkey W come away with a very solid team fight.
I think they need to push for the Walker, though, or something. They lost the Walker on the left-hand side. Cosmetical couldn't defend 1v2, and he actually goes down from this one. Abraham's come out with a kill and a Walker. Did the counter push come out through, and the damage Listic's able to do. He's not shocking reanimation anymore, though, as you pointed out. Being willing to trade that 1-for-1. You have to depend on those jump starts to heal him up here, as well as the backup out of Hoot. And that Walker's still sitting relatively healthy, man. The wave is just now finally getting
stomped
here.
Big mistake from Break to get stomped into that one. Now Ivy comes flying in. Would love to be able to find a catch. He's getting low at Talilosan. Oh, maybe it's going to get him away. Gets him a bit of space, but the damage follow-up looks to be there. Although, spamming shots into Apollo, not the best move. The riposte pulls him likely out of trouble, but the movement is too clean. Sanya all over him on the retreat. Arzo, though, hold on, has to pay his life for the privilege. Obi back with another bullet dance onto that one. He's not out of the woods yet either, though, as Taz wants to continue on to this fight. But Lowkey W are more than willing to continue it. They want to bring numbers. They want to continue to take these chaotic engagements. And you're right, all three Wonkers down, but the soul advantage has been kept very manageable by Lowkey W. So, like, yes, they're behind in this game, and yes, without the Walkers, but at some point when you cash those Walker kills in, Lowkey W, things could really swing back in their favor.
I think chaotic is a good term to explain how these fights have been and how this game is kind of played. These are some of the longest team fights I feel like we've ever seen. There's just no clean winner from either of these sides. It's not like you hit a big combo or like a big, like wombo combo and the fight's over. It's been constant back and forth, extended fights, battles on multiple fronts as well. Like we've seen dive comps with Empty Dreams and Sonya pushing into the back line of Lowkey W, while Zergy and like Rake did something similar. With mid boss being started by Lowkey W, this does feel like a slight 50-50. The Affliction comes in, it only hits Hoot, though. This is the best case scenario for Lowkey W.
Sick tornado from Cosmetical. The Dust Devil dodges the Affliction, so it's only onto one, but already they found a kill onto Zergy. This fight looking good. The reanimation is available. Are they going to be able to grab the last hits on the rejuve? Only one has been taken so far. Lowkey W find it. 2-1 now, so advantage Lowkey W. Big finds on it, and now the trades come in without Arzo, without Sonya. You're going to be lacking damage, even together. Hooked in, back into the human form, and soon to fall with 2 rejuves still in the hands of Lowkey W. They get their decisive team fight, and they re-secure an advantage, an immediate TP to the Walker. Cosmetical has had enough. He's going to start opening things up onto these buildings, but there's still a fight continuing in the rest of the mid lane. Like, the burger boxing is not done. The remaining 3 players from Abrahams are still healthy and still looking to take away these rejuves.
Double Tiny Losan and a hook back towards the fallen Walker, as Hoot is just trying to get this kill on a Celeste, and they do get it indeed. They still have 1 rejuve left. It's only Hoot to actually be the one to use the charge on Lowkey W's side, and Break maybe looking for the charge down. Empty Dreams, a great little teleport with his down to 3 health, but he's gonna fall. Break chases this one down, and I mean, Break's definitely been an MVP of this match in my eyes so far.
This Shining Wonder has been carried through the entire map, but they just do not care. And in the end, you throw 2 key cores away for 1 rejuve. That's not a good trade. That's gonna mean all the Walkers on the map falling. Well, the second one down for now. The third's still healthy, but how do you fight without Sonya and Empty Dreams? Abrahams, they're posturing as if they're gonna try it, but this Mirage has escalating exposure, Cosmetical, menace on the map, an urn being grabbed as well. Throwing away more kills would be brutally punishing, as, I mean, just a few minutes ago, Lowkey W was down 5-10K. Now they're up 15. One of the biggest swings we've seen. I love we could pull up the graph and see just how big of a swing this is for Lowkey W to get right back into this game. And this is game 3, baby. This is do or die. The money goes to the winner.
Yeah, I want to see that soul graph as well, if we can get that popped up here and see how heavily it's been in favor of Abrahams for majority of the game, man. That last switch here towards that mid boss. Lowkey W have to be careful not to throw this one away. They have the urn in hand on Hoot. If they can get this one dunked, they extend their lead even further. They have to be careful about losing anyone. Together's been overextended, caught up by the petrifying bullet and locked down, but a 3-man Affliction connects as the urn gets dunked.
Everybody chill. Everybody chill. Talk about what you're going to do next. what are you going to do next, though? Because Affliction onto 3, 1 Reju, got to do the math here. I feel like either Zergy or Obakim is dying. And I think if you're Zergy, you want to die first. You want to consume the Reju. This is peak Pozlock. I'm going to call it peak Pozlock. The question for me, though, is, hold on. We need to get a check on, can we get a together POV check? If he dies before getting the Lycan Curse off, they will get obliterated in this fight. Mark my words.
He's right there, like on top of the staircase. So it looks like is
he out?
trying
Maybe
to
he's
escape
out.
this fight.
But he doesn't even have any damage dealt. He has the metal skin popped. The reactive has been consumed. I think he's dead. I think he's getting run down here. And if he doesn't get Lycan Curse off, huge part of the strat is going to fail. Here comes Zergy diving in on top of him. Metal skin keeps him up for now. Zergy actually wastes the mag into the metal skin. Hold on together, turns that around. Zergy overheats it. And the region was already consumed from Obakim. Now with the player advantage, a combo onto Cosmetical, your key damage dealer in the Mirage combo, but he's staying alive. Looks like he's healing through it. Abraham's, though, with the player advantage. No ultis available for Lowkey W. They want to get more than just those first kills. They're down 20k. They need to get more here. But will they be able to find it? Still Lowkey W fighting strong. Listic, even without the reanimation, playing aggro, but it has that extra spirit damage per bullet on the ultimate. And Hoot's a menace on the B-buff. You cannot stand against this guy who Hook just barely goes wide. And you'd think they back off to lick their wounds, but no, Abrahams continue to push this. They need to find these finishing kills. Hook onto Empty Dreams, hold on, potentially pulling him into a trouble spot. A big curse onto Arzo. That's the late game carry, gone in a second. Overconfident against the Obakim, and potentially a rundown to be found onto the pocket. They get the bomb onto him. The sleep, I think it's not good, but they might still find the connection. Yeah, still being run down. Pad into the bullet dance. Potentially a counter kill to be found on the Listic. It's something, but still costs your life on together.
I don't even know what's happening anymore, Jake. I'm losing all track of time and how these fights broke out. This started with like a pause at the urn turn in. Remember, who dunked the urn? We had a 3-man affliction onto Lowkey W, but they still come out as the victors in this fight, getting 3 kills themselves. They've extended their lead now up to 21k. What has been happening in these last moments, man? A Ricochet picked up for Cosmetical. He's definitely hit a point where he's come online here with like Soul Shredder builds, escalating Ricochet, even Fortitude to get back in the fight. Because honestly, I think Fortitude is probably one of the best buys you can pick up in this game, considering how extended these fights are, man. You hop out of the fight if you can escape it, and you can rejoin it without having to go back to base to heal. Like, these fights are not over cleanly at all.
Yeah, the fact that Saint found the combo onto Cosmetical and they couldn't finish him off, extremely telling about the state of the game, right? Like, that's the moment where if you finish that Mirage, you burst him down, okay, huge damage threat off the map, you can probably just run the table. But you fail that kill, things get turned around on you. Mirage now resets, comes back in, and that's the type of fight Mirage loves, where he's kind of poking, prodding. By the way, Vray kind of heard you talking smack on the Apollo. Top damage on the server right now.
I wasn't trying to Vray, bro, I swear.
38k. Oh, Frenzy bought up for Vic. Makes total sense on this hero. And with the buffs to Frenzy, I feel like that really fits this hero's game plan. He's going to be like, do not disrespect the carry damage threat from Listic, especially after the ult is popped, when he's got that spirit damage, you get Frenzy online. They're carrying in Sonya Sniper, bringing in the Celeste Umbrella bioweapon. It's on to 2, but the curse is going to slow things down, provide a little bit of opportunity for Lowkey W to get into this fight. Shining Wonder thrown, but it looks like it missed. The hook from Hoot ensures it. The bullet dance really punishing anyone who dares step up into this fight, but a 4-man affliction might just be enough. Natalia Wilson and Empty Dreams. The hit is big. He's low, and he gets finished by Hoot's laser.
Try to do enough damage that this affliction's not going to matter, because you wipe Abrahams off the face of the earth here. The other sitting on top of the buildings like a reject Spider-Man will at least get the information out there, but his team won't survive it. They lose Sonya, they lose Empty Dreams, they lose Saint, and together just trying to hide like he's invisible.
I mean, it's good if he lives, but it's like, what are you going to do here? And also, what would you even do if you were there to defend the base? Lowkey W is low across the board, so they could go for shrines. It's a risk, though. That being said, I guess, what is the enemy team really going to do? They don't have a playmaker. They have some heroes that clear waves. But yeah, you just disrespect that. You grab one shrine. I think this is the perfect move from Lowkey W. One shrine is a huge thing to find. Yeah, I guess he knows if he gets caught, he is just going to get insta-dead, 6v1. So him living through it is actually nice, but he's not going to be able to stop a quick raid on the doubles on their way out of the Abraham side of the map. So pretty decisive lead being picked up now by Lowkey W. They're going to get full buffs. They should be able to grab this urn pickup. Will be an advantaged urn, so the dunk could get pretty difficult. Zergy mobility buff, though, that is actually probably one of the best mobility buff users in the game is Viper. He's going to have like 12 stam or something obscene on the Viper.
With sub stam picked up too, you just feel like a god.
Yeah, he basically is never going to run out of stam, realistically. And his second curse being bought from Hoot, man, this is a rough game to be Sonya Sniper. Like, good luck going in on, well, on anybody, on Arzo, right? Like these heroes that want to get in, have a big moment on the Spirit carry. Those curses come in when you're trying to make your play, and you're just dead.
I mean, what about Empty Dreams? If he gets in and he doesn't get the affliction off ASAP, you're gonna get cursed and you're just gonna die without using your affliction. That's, I think, the one thing that Lowkey W is worried about is the affliction. And you saw, as you pointed out, like 4 people got hit. They were low at the end of the fight when they're going in for the shrines. If they can eliminate the chance for an affliction to go off, then they just win the game. They win the $2,500, man. Actually, it's over 2,500. It's like 2,650 at least.
26. Of course, remember, we had that one guy who gave $100 to the second place prize. But honestly, with 2,500 on the line, you do not want to be thinking about that second place. You want to be fully focused. Speaking of fully focused, a big hook in together. Absolutely obliterated from all sides. Looks like back-to-back curses in the fight. Huge damage coming in from all sides. And Silver is not the tank she once was in this game. Earn being absolutely run down, and you can contest this, but do you really want that smoke? I think the answer is no. They're going to look to just do what they can, deny some of the souls, but I mean, Abrahams knows how close this game is. Obakim does too. He's looking to end this one here and now, but the bullet dance doesn't look like it caught anybody.
Yeah, mid boss is up. You don't go for a game-winning fight here. You go for the mid boss, force the fight here.
Why
I think
not?
you only have to worry about the affliction. And again, the curses are going to be up in time. Even cosmetically going back to base here with the Traveler. I still feel like you maybe don't force the fight at mid-boss. If anything, you make him scream and then force the fight. Or maybe just wait for Abrams to come to you while you're shopping. You see Crow immediately being pushed out. Saint doesn't have a chance to survive this one as Zergy cleans this one up. And that's 2 kills already.
Oh, and yeah, Empty Dreams knows, man. Standing still, full surrounded. The weight of expectation against you. Lowkey W with some incredible late game scaling. Going to pick up a big team fight and more than likely a clean triple rejuve. They have struggled for quite a few sometime weeks. People have been questioning Zergy, saying, was this guy the right one to bring back in? I'll hold that thought, though, as the last chance for Abrahams. They need to snatch some of these rejuves away. Big Vortex Web. Ivy comes in with the stun. Maybe they can grab a crystal away here. It would be massive, but Lowkey W just too clean. They give them nothing. All 3 rejuves grabbed. Not a single kill given back the other way. And with one shrine already down, the base will be a quick siege. Listic still with that ultimate online, and he is going to be making a beeline. Cosmetical TP straight to the side wave, cleans that one up. They are dotting every T, crossing every I. Lowkey W, a perfect moment to peak here on the night shift.
Such a good uppercut by Hoot too to knock them away from the Reju crystal so they can lock that one down. So many parries happening at that moment. Is Heather trying to?
I mean, he can't even zip.
Superhero again.
I mean, what can he do, right? Like, honestly, he's hiding. He just has to wait for his team to spawn, and maybe he can come in from behind. But it feels like the last few fights, he's just getting cursed and destroyed. Like, there's just, like, what can he do? Silver, this is your whole game plan. Go in first and be too hard to turn around, to shut down and kill. Listic, ooh, does take a big hit from the shrine, is getting quite low. A little bug with his HP bar, but he is quite low. I assure you, he is not actually going to heal to full off of this. And Empty Dream, where'd he go? It's just a slow siege now. Second layer patron, but without pocket, how do you fight this one? One rejuve is consumed, but will the kills come back in? Abrahams need their players arrive if they want to fight this one out. Here comes Ivy, comes in with the Vortex Web, the stone form. But it feels like even Abrahams don't really believe anymore. Lowkey W charging forward into the finish. Zergy dancing in the pit now, dancing on the graves of Abrahams. With the rejuvenation and pop, Listic still playing with another Rejuve crystal available to him. Abrahams cleaned up off the face of the earth, and not a single player stands as Lowkey W finish off the patron, claiming around $2,600 for their trouble. Record-breaking prize pool here on the Night Shift Weekly show. And what a time to do it. Lowkey W on the new patch, bringing in a new style, one that arguably only they could pull off, right? A really innovative play. You got to look to Obakim on the Haze, a hero that very few people have touched in recent weeks. He finds the moment to bring it out and goes winless on the night with this hero. For Zergy, some great play from him on some heroes we haven't necessarily expected him to play. Things like the Viper, the Warden, the Mirage, flexing that hero pool. For this entire team, arguably, some people might say the reformation of buff enjoyers, right? Having a lot of the success that historical team had. And now winning a crucial night shift is a great way to cement that return to form in their legacy.
bro.
Jake, I'm here. You can take. Wait,
No, I'm
Jason
here.
is also back. Okay,
Jason's back.
Jason,
Get
take it
outta
away.
here,
I don't
CP.
have to
Wait for
fill.
North America. Get out of here. But to do it in the biggest prize pool we've had in the night shift as well, like a perfect time for them to peak here in the competition. But more importantly, I think you kind of said it there too, is that like Zergy's showing he can play things past Wraith through, he can play things that are relevant in the meta, or just maybe make the meta change in a way that makes the heroes he wants to play relevant as well. I think a lot of credit also, past him goes to at least Drake in that game. He did a great job of, I think, extending his fight so long. And then also like Hoot and Listic playing Bebop in this series did some great things, and I think those were also like huge points to the success of these matches.
Yeah, I think Listic also showed what's possible on the Victor this game. Like, he had a bad early game. I'll just straight up say it. Together kind of dominated him in the early game, had a bunch of impactful kills. Listic did not have some crazy like snowball free farm the map kind of a game on Victor. He had to scrap his way back into this game, and he did just that. Zergy as well, playing like a higher tempo carry in the Viper, was really good this game, and they did not have an easy time doing it. Abraham's on comfort top to bottom across this roster still wasn't enough. So just a lot of credit to Lowkey W earning this massive win for them as a team. I know they're probably going to be celebrating, feeling amazing right now, but it is well earned. This is a team of players that we have come to know and love here on the night shift, and ones that I expect to see around for quite a long time as they reassert themselves at the top of EU.
Yeah, man, and I think we're maybe even getting close to a point where there's a 3-team contest, a 3-horse race in EU. I mean, we're seeing now Lowkey and Abrams can take the title. Leviathan, they held the title for a while as well, but it's been a bit since we've seen them get back up to the top. I wonder if we can see them come back next week and show that they could challenge the top ranks here, and then we could just have that 3-way race, and that would be honestly a sight for sore eyes, considering NA has just been the region to watch for me, considering how many teams are so good there. But taking a look at the match stats here, Vraic 53, almost 54,000 damage being done here. I mean, he made me just completely shut up. With what I said before
They give him the anti-caster curse. He just turned up in a crazy way. Like that one fight that went like 3 minutes or something crazy with both teams on like 3 players remaining, like trying to clutch it out. That Vraic is one of the last man standing, that he gets the earn in. That feels like the turning point of the game, right? That feels like the moment that swings the advantage back, where Abrahams are starting to pull ahead. It looks like, not as dominant as game 2, but it looks like they're that lead is real. It's meaningful. And then it all turns around and the game snowballs against them. So great play from Lowkey W. Awesome from them to be able to rebound, because like we were saying before, a lot of teams wouldn't have been able to do that given what happened game 2. Like, it's forgotten now, right? Given that they just won this series, but game 2 was a beatdown. It was brutal.
Oh my God.
It was like, it looked like the other games were flukes. It was like, Abrahams are here to claim that prize money. Thanks for stacking up our bank accounts a little extra, with these extra prizes. But no, Lowkey W find the answers in the draft. I love the way they responded. They prioritized the Haze. That was a pick that I think a lot of teams wouldn't have had the balls to do, right? They just wouldn't have. They would have been like, yeah, well, the Haze is good, but maybe we need other heroes first. Haze is such an off-meta hero, but they trust him a third time, and he delivers 3 for 3 on the night on Haze.
Yeah, 7, 6, and 23. I mean, look at his soul breakdown. 20% of his souls, the most he has allocated, came from enemy kills. And we had that happen before when Listic was on Bebop. I believe that was in game 1. He had, I think, the second most amount of his souls coming from enemy kills. Kind of really squeak out as much economy they possibly can. And again, his build was like solid, unstoppable. He had I think the curse buy out of him was probably the big turning point, because that meant anyone they hook in is going to die. It means they can deal with any individual in these fights. It means ours is no longer a threat as well. And then when Who picked up a curse on top of that, it was just like the cherry on top.
Yeah, it feels like even with some of these spirit carry heroes still looking way stronger than they have in previous patches, curse is a huge problem, right? For Pocket, for Celeste. There's heroes that have to come into close range to deal their damage. That's the way the hero works. Like, they simply can't do what they're meant to do unless they can get on top of you. And when you just get cursed and bursted, it really doesn't feel like you have any option to play the game. Maybe you get to 70k souls and you buy an Indomitable and it feels better, but couldn't pass that test against Lowkey W. They just put too much pressure on, won too many big fights. It's a massive win for this squad, one that I think is going to be remembered. I mean, this is also, it feels like a revitalized Lowkey W. They haven't looked this good since bringing on Zergy. And for them to get a big win like this is a real vindication of, I think, Zergy as an individual, where they had success with Empty Dreams. He leaves the team. It doesn't look so good anymore, right? People are, I think, fair to question, that choice for them as a team in their roster, with Empty Dreams going to Abrahams and still winning. And, looks like he was the reason. Now I think a lot of those doubts can be put to bed. And I think you're right. it is a 3-horse race in EU, man. Like, no game is free. Every single game needs to be fought hard for, as Abraham showed on the night, still making this one difficult to go game 3.
Yeah, and I think it's easy to forget that they have not won since Zergi's joined the team. But to finally have that happen, a lot of weight off their shoulders. And maybe that brings us into now who are sidekick of the match, a Shopify sidekick of the match. And Jake, it looks like we kind of agreed over in Discord. We both put it towards Obikim, man. Like, his haze across not only this series, but even the first series of the night. He was able to really put in a lot of work and show that haze is extremely viable. And this makes me wonder now, when's Play With Me making his return? Because he was the original OG haze.
Yeah, this tempo haze looks absolutely back, and with the coordination of a top team, right, following up on these, you know, you're fully invisible, you find a sleep dagger, you start with the bullet dance, and Obikim was just throwing it out there, man. He was willing to take risks, willing to like push the limit of what was possible in this game, but more often than not, his ability to catch and start fights is what leads to these big blowout moments that allow them to take decisive objectives, to snowball the game from there. So yes, you got to give a lot of credit to some of the like, more farmed carries on Lowkey W, but a lot of those fights just don't happen without Obikim being at the right place at the right time, without him having these clean reads on the game. So huge credit to the haze. This is a really challenging style to play, the tempo haze. Not easy, right? It takes a really intelligent player to know exactly where the limit is. And hey, Obikim, think about his history as a player. You got to absolutely credit him as being one of the smartest, most aware players in Deadlock.
Yeah, I think also what you said I wanted to go into more, knowing your limits, but also like knowing your limits based on your comp and the enemy comp. Because he was a lot more aggressive and was a lot more willing to dive in extra deep when he had Viscous being played on his team, right? Yeah. He was able to get cubed up and rescue beamed away. He's able to show more restraint here, but also know when to be aggressive, knowing they can confirm these kills and to kind of set his team up, even chase him down like you see there, with a little bit of overkill with the bullet dance onto Empty Dreams.
That's an Empty Dreams pocket, man. There's no such thing as overkill. Like, whatever it takes until he hits the deck. Like, keep pressing buttons until he's down. You take a look at the history here.
Is that real? The last 3 weeks, we've had 3 different winners?
Dude, EU, man. Both EU and NA have been insanely competitive. Honestly, it's beyond regions, right? This is Deadlock right now. Like, players are showing up in a huge way. Feels like passion for the game is at an all-time high. And it's been a while since we've had a patch, you know, at least like a major content patch. Like, the game is just doing well. It's standing on its own 2 feet right now, and it's awesome to see the esports players really getting their time in the sun. We're super proud to be able to offer our highest prize pools ever this week and going ahead.
Can I challenge our production? I mean, I can't really challenge them because they pretty much ace every like test I give them. Can we look at item priorities so far in the day? I'm really curious to see how far opening rounds has gone up compared to prior weeks, because we've seen it multiple times every game.
Is there going to be anything but vitality items in the top 10? That's what I'm worried about. I think we'll have to see. We're getting it pulled up right now. I think it's a really good question, because especially because NA and EU often have different takes on the meta. One thing though, Jason, I expect to see more of an NA as we have another. I mean, we're only halfway through the show, by the way, guys. Like, we had an epic moment here, closing out the grand finals, but after this, we're going into a whole other region. 3 incredibly competitive teams. The hero that I expected though to see across the board is going to be Doorman, but you were right. Opening rounds, Rockets up 20 spots to the third place.
Biggest mover. Reactive barrier went up 30. I didn't expect that to. I mean, obviously with Indomitable, but I didn't expect that to go ahead of like opening rounds.
I didn't see it either, but now that I see it, I'm like, okay, this is just people stop buying Resto Locket. At least I don't know if I saw any. I think maybe the nerfs to Resto Locket might have been enough to knock it off. And Reactive is like, not only does it have a potential upgrade to the late game, so it has potential value even if you don't actually upgrade it, right? It does scale a little bit better, but also one of the key competitors for that kind of a buy was Resto, and now Reactive feels like the better option to these top players, especially with a lot of these lockdown catch heroes that are being played, and at least the games in EU, you know, with sleeps and hooks, you know, the Bola, right? Like, there's so many ways to proc Reactive. Spell Magic loses 2 slots, but it's still right up there with the top. But I mean, it is very rare we see a gun item of any kind in 3. So I think you're right to call out opening rounds. Big item this patch.
And well, I know you're going to see that in every single one of your games when you're playing your pubs or you're getting wrecked.
I buy it in every game because I'm playing Warden. It's like the number one. It's like you have to buy this item on Warden. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna do it for you. But I think quickly we can maybe take a look at the brackets, get an idea of what's coming your way for North America, because you're gonna see a team that you haven't seen in a while. Bird with Clock making their debut once again here in the night shift, going up against Melee Creeps of all teams, who lost out last week, with Foreman taking the title up against FPS Lounge. NA is going to be packed, and I cannot wait to see what Bird with Clock are able to show us here this week.
I hope Bird with Clock, it's been a while since we've seen them. I hope they've come prepared, because this is the reality of NA. The challenger matches against melee creeps. There is no free lunch here. Every single game is going to be competitive. Melee creeps, they weren't the most successful last week. It was a pretty rough week for them overall, but this is, I think, an opportunity where they're undeniably going to be the favorites in the challenger. They're going to have a shot against Floorman in the finals. Will they be able to adapt and innovate and be able to adjust off the back of this patch? Historically, they've also been a team that is quick off a new patch, I think, to find their stride and to kind of set a new meta for other squads. So we'll see if that continues to be the case, or if Floorman can hold on to the crown. We got an incredible show coming at you guys on the other side of this break. We also have ZP doing the build of the shift in the break. We're going to break down some cool builds from the previous night shift to be able to kind of dive a little bit deeper into some of these top meta choices. So don't go anywhere, guys. We got another half of the show after this. Shout out to the community. Shout out to the fans. It's an incredible night so far, and we are just getting started here on the night shift. See you in a minute.
It's time.